We all love handheld consoles, right? Game Boys, DSs, PSPs, that's good stuff. But guys, there's an entire world of insane unofficial handhelds on a Chinese website called Aliexpress. So today, I'm gonna take you through some of the craziest handhelds from Aliexpress, including some that are pretending to be something they aren't, one with a feature I'm not sure is even legal, and you'll also find out why I'm now sinking behind this table.
Number 15.
You ever been scrolling through AliExpress and noticed they have an absurd number of ultra cheap consoles? I mean, guys, we're talking only $3. Like, how is that even possible? Well, I bought a few of the cheapest consoles I could find on AliExpress, and in this video, we'll test them out. I mean, how bad could they be? Starting with this package here, this thing is absolutely tiny. There's no way this is a console. What is this? I got this one here, it's a little bit larger, but let's start with the tiny one. Very curious about this. We have, holy crap, we have a mini game player that might be the smallest thing I've ever seen. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on and just see how it works. It's got a little battery thingamajig you take out. Oh no. Now the nice thing is you can quite literally throw it on a keychain. Like, I'll try that out in a minute, but let's go ahead and first try this game out. And I think there's actually a screen protector on here that might be blocking our view a little bit. How do I take this thing off? I mean, look at all those bubbles. There's clearly a screen protector on here, but I can't take it off. Whatever, fine. Let's go ahead and play, reset it. Music, turn that music off. We can press side to side. There's also a rotate button. What am I rotating? What on earth is happening? I just see a random smiley face and then a frowny face popping up. I see a 99 at the bottom. Oh yeah, it looks like a skyscraper with a helicopter falling into this. What is happening? I can't tell how to play or what I'm doing. Like, I'm not rotating anything. I can't see any different types of shapes. It's just the same shape every time, going down in the same spot. Goodbye. Down, sit, like. Shut up. We got one more shot, boy. Let's see what this thing can do. How do I play? Wait, that's the start button. Yo, I figured it out. Now we're playing, is this Galaga or something? What? Oh, I see some ships shooting some crap. Oh, whoop, I just rotated. I'm so done with this thing.
Yeah, take that. Yeah.
It deserves it. All right, on to the next console because that is absurd. And I messed up my arm trying to throw a freaking tiny thing in this tiny space. All right, next up we have this console here. This is the one that was $3. Quite literally $3, guys. And it comes in this little baggie. We've got an AV cable here. We've got this, whatever this thing is. Portable gift game console. Free 3 fire buttons. About to use all of them on whoever made this thing. All right, let's see what's inside of this thing. And oh, it's Sonic. Yo, let's go. That's actually kind of sick. We got a little joystick. Nope, that is pure garbage. That thing, it barely moves that way. You can push it this way pretty easily and then it spins in place too. Wow, that is bad. We also have it just like keeps getting stuck. We have an A, B, and a T. There's also an on and off button, AV out, reset. You can even hook this thing up to a keychain as well, I guess. And you need a battery, maybe? Oh, we do, okay. I guess the main thing to note here is that clearly this thing doesn't have a screen, so we gotta plug it into our TV, and that's how we play. Wow, that is quite a large compartment for a AAA battery. But anyways, let's go and try to turn this thing on without plugging it in and see what happens. So we turn it on, there's a little red light there, so you know it's on. That's a good sign. Let's go ahead and plug it into our TV and just see what shows up, man. This can't be good. So we're plugged in now with our little cable, and I have bad luck with these cables, so hopefully this actually works. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Please show something on screen. Wow, there it is. Yep, that's Sonic at the top. Is that Sonic? We got Chinese, English. What is that in the castle there? Looks like Chip and Dale from Disney. Okay, whatever. Start. We've got, oh, what? It's one of these things. All right, we got an interesting background here, actually. We got 89 and 1, Angry Bird 3, Contra 1, Super Mario, Spartan, Arkanoid, Tetris 2, Aladdin 3, Adventure. Look at that transitional screen there. It just glitches out. Goonies, Gradius 1, Legend. Are these real games? Chinese Chess, World Cup. Oh, perfect, World Cup. I mean, that's very timely. 1942, 90 Tank, F1 Race. That transition screen gets me every time. It looks horrible. Macross, Kung Fu, Road Fight, Circus, Galaga, whatever. Let's try it on these games. Let's try out Galaga. Okay, so good news is the analog stick works. I can go back and forth. It feels like crap still, but it does function. And the A button appears to function as well. We're shooting some bullets. Let's go. It sounds extremely cheap, as you can hear. But to be fair, it's $3, guys. I'm not expecting too much. Ah, crap. I do have a B button, which does nothing. We do also have a T button, which I'm really curious what this does. Is it a turbo button or something? It looks like it's doing the same thing as the A button right now, but whatever. Ah, crap. Back to the main page, and we have, excuse me, Fast Ross. That can't be real, right? Every time there's some crazy games on here that I don't understand, and they sometimes are real, so let's go and look it up. AI says it looks like you might be searching for information about one of the few popular Bros entities. Now that you mention it, Fast Bros. It definitely looks like Mario in the corner. Yeah, let's go and play this. What is this Mario dupe here? Oh no, it's just Super Mario Bros. They just called it Fast Bros. It's disrespectful. Okay, except it's definitely not the Super Mario Bros. That I'm used to. What is this? We got silver pipes. We've got a weird looking, crap. I still suck. Gotta say, B button being up top is really a pain in the butt because now you gotta hold this button to sprint and then press A to jump. It just doesn't quite feel right, but whatever. It is a freaking cheap piece of garbage, so I expect nothing less. Yeah, very strange. Clearly some sort of Mario knockoff, but whatever. Let's go back and check out the other games, because if that's number 89, what is number 88? Gotta be something good, right? We got Su Poyen. I actually think that's real. Got Bomberman, Donkey we have Donkey Kong. Oh, and it pulls up bandits. What is this? That is freaking creepy. Is that Donkey Kong? He's getting shot in his right now. What is happening? It's got some Super Tank games, Galaxian 1, a bunch of Arkanoid variations, Circus Advent. What just happened? Rope games, On the Road, Tank C, Tank B. Where's Tank A? We got that right there with the little man up there, little man there, little man, little man, little man, little man, little man. Pac-Man, sure, that looks like a creepy Pac-Man. Actually, let's play this one. I mean, I guess it looks legit, kind of, maybe. Ready, go. All right, looks like Pac-Man. Yep, that's Pac-Man. Honestly, the stick here actually works pretty well for Pac-Man for whatever reason. Let me find one more game to boot up here. Now, I'm curious, are there any Sonic games here? I mean, I would hope so. Oh, there's Mario Bros again. That one looks, oh, that's a fat Mario. Hold up, let's play this one. What is that? Mr. Mary. Wow, we were in for a treat here, guys. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, look at this dude run. What is his stance right there, guys? Like, he's looking like a... Hello, my name is Mr. Mary. Got him. Got him. But yeah, I think I scrolled through all the games here. Hold on a second. We have Mahjong 2P and 4P. Is that 2-player and 4-player? How do we play with just one controller? I guess you can hand it off to the next person, maybe. But I think I was gonna say we scrolled through all of these, but no, we got Donkey 1, Donkey 2, and Donkey 3 here that we missed earlier. But now we've seen them all, and again, no Sonic games, which is just amazing for a Sonic console. Let's turn this thing off and move on to our next console, which hopefully is maybe better. I mean, it's pretty large here, but I think I paid like $9 for this one, maybe. I mean, let's be real, anything is better than this crap. Look at this freaking thing. Look at that. But guys, we got a Game Box Plus here, and look at, I mean, just look at this thing. That looks like straight Garbo. But you know what? Let's go ahead and I guess just rip it open since it's already happening. But yeah, pulling it out, we got a pretty crappy looking console. Looks like a sub console that we've seen quite a few times on this channel. And let's, ooh, yeah, the screen is pretty rough. But let's go ahead and pull the screen protector off, I guess, maybe. Again, screen protectors do not come off, apparently. And let me rephrase, these are not protectors, these are just like little screen films they put on in shipping that you're supposed to take off, and they just constantly don't come off because they are, I don't know. You can see where it's supposed to peel off there, and it doesn't peel off. You know what it's time for? It's time for a knife. Oh, let's go, I got it. Only 3 scratches in the corner, I'll take it. We got a battery included, nice. Let's go ahead and test out this little case here and see how it fits in there. Let's go ahead and slide this bad boy in. It fits both in that slot there, and I guess also in the slot next to it. I'm not sure why there's 2 little slots, but whatever. I don't know, man. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on though and see what happens. Yep, I knew it. Oh, let's go ahead and boot it up though. We got 501. It looks like the same kind of stuff I see every time where it's just a bunch of Angry Bird, Super Contra, Super Mario Bros, Super Bros, Super Bros, Dumb Bros, Donkey Kong, Junior Ma, Door,
I've had over 40
Domino's,
pizzas in the last
Papa
30
John's,
days.
Pizza Hut, Fish War, Slalom, Five Guys, SpaceX, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, NASCAR. All right, real talk here. What is memory test? Let's go ahead and boot that up and see what it is. It's a card game. Oh, we're using a mouse? Did they pour it on a PC game onto this little tiny piece of crap? Oh, hat. Let's go. One more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Got him. Let's go. Low-key, I kind of miss Smashing games. I haven't played them in like 20 years at this point, but they were fun when I was a kid. But we have all sorts of other crap on here like Urban Champion, Undersea Arena, Twin Cars, Twin Copters, Twin Fish, Twin Boar, Twin Yo Mama, Star, Spar, Par, Lar, Par, Car, Sky, Pot, Shot Put. What kind of idiot buys these things from Aliexpress? This guy. So anybody else just hear it? That's not from this, is it? The stupid game consoles over here started playing again. It was off. It was off. Stay off. What in the world? All right, let's reset and find one more game here. This thing is low-key piece of crap. Actually, high-key piece of crap. But I want to find one more game that's interesting and try to play it. What is this, fruit dish? That sounds interesting. Yes, that's fruit, and that's oh, okay. You just try to, I guess, change what the fruit looks like to match the thing. Cool. That's a lot of fun. All right, I'm done. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. I know I didn't. These things are just garbage. Don't waste any of your money. Don't spend $3 on them. Just don't do it.
Number 14.
Now you guys know that over on the Jacob R channel, we get thousands of consoles per year, but every once in a while we will miss one and it'll sit in a box for years. That's exactly what happened with what I have here. 2 3DS consoles from Aliexpress. And guys, if you've seen the DS consoles we've gotten from China in the past, you know we could be in for a rough time. Let's open up the box and see what I find. Opening the box up, we got 2 chargers in here, and then inside of these little cardboard containers, I'm assuming these have our 3DSs. My assumption is that these are gonna be like reshells or something, but we're gonna find out. Right off the bat, I see like a fair bit of scratching on this thing, but let's go ahead and take a look at the other console that's like already opened. What? That wasn't sketch at all. Flip it over to the back though. I saw this in the other one as well. It says 2E1 on the back. It's a big old sticker, made in China over top of the Nintendo logo. They're also both US consoles. You can see right down there, they say USA. And earlier I said they looked like knockoff or, you know, reshell kind of consoles where a company in China or whatever will take a broken 3DS, they'll take the internals, put it inside of a new shell and call it a new 3DS. But I don't know. These look pretty OEM to me. Let's go ahead and pop it open. And I mean, maybe there are like specific parts that have been replaced. Like maybe this front glass part was cracked or something and they replaced it. Maybe that's why it has a sticker here. But the buttons, yeah, these all look very OEM to me. They feel just like an actual 3DS. What is happening here with the home button? It's like peeling up a little. Let's go ahead and open the other one up. Yeah, it looks like mostly the same story. The home button is peeling up on this one too. The analog stick looks a lot better. It feels pretty grimy, but that's okay. Buttons all feel good, and yeah, it's just got this like thing over top of the screen. Let's go ahead and peel this off and see what happens. Okay, good. The screen did not pop off. There was a video a long time ago, around the time we bought these consoles, I'm pretty sure, where Jacob peeled a screen protector off of one of these reshell consoles, and yep, it kind of looks like there's like another screen protector underneath of that screen protector. Why? There is another screen protector. What is the point of this? Is it the same deal on this console? Let's take the top one off. Nope, it's just, it all came off at once. What? Aesthetically though, I gotta say overall, these 3DS consoles, they look pretty good. These days, 3DS, it's pretty hard to find them in good condition, honestly. What are the chances this thing still has power? There's no way. Guys, these consoles were sitting in a box minimum 2 years. What? Oh, it's very low on power though. Oh geez. Is the same thing gonna happen with the blue one? Nope, this one's definitely dead, so I'm gonna plug them both in, let them charge up, and we'll come back. All right, guys, console's been charging for a little while. I gotta say, this is such a nice red. I forgot that they even made this color, but I already have this. Oh, what happened? I activated the camera. All right, well, I guess that's something we can test. Hold on. Oh boy, look at that quality. Can I take a selfie? Perfect. Never been done better. But anyways, going back to the homepage here, it doesn't look like we have anything fancy installed. It's just like the normal default 3DS stuff. Ooh, we got 4 steps today and 29 gold things. What does that mean? I don't remember. Let's go into the activity log. Oh, Aaron's records. 11,000 steps taken. In the year of 2013, whatever that means, we've gotten 4 steps. 2012, we got 0. And then, holy crap, 2011, we had 11,000 steps. When did the 3DS come out? Hold on. It came out in February of 2011, which matches up right here. We can see in February 2011, that's when they started playing. 1,200 steps in a week. Look, I'm a fat lord. I have no context for how many steps is a good amount of steps. I'm gonna look that up too. Okay, in the United States, it seems that people walk around 3,000 to 4,000 steps a day. So 12,000 steps in a week, maybe it's not that impressive, but that is a fair amount of steps for, you know, walking around with your 3DS, I would say. Let's organize this by playtime. Let's see when he was playing the most. The #1 game was Pokemon Rumble Blast. Holy crap, is this accurate? Yeah, I guess so. So I zoomed it all the way out to 2011, right? Just look at all the games this guy played. #1 spot by far, Pokemon Rumble Blast, 128 hours. Played Pokemon Black for 100 hours. Skylanders Spyro Adventure for 3DS. Oh boy. 39 hours of that. That's brutal. Oh, I guess I should check if this console has an SD card. That'd be smart. It does not. Oh man, that'd be awesome if we still had that. Meaning if this guy took any photos on the console, they're just gonna be gone. At least I think they will be. I guess we can check the camera app again. Oh, there we go. We got my photos there. So okay, it has at least a little bit of system memory to store some photos. Oh, we do have some pictures. Oh, that's amazing. Is that a Skylander? Wait, what is this? They got a picture of a CRT. They're playing some Zelda? It's hard to tell. Oh, nice. Taking a nice landscape photo, probably out the car window. That's a classic move right there. The rest of the photos were just photos of the kid's face or whatever, but that is really wholesome that those are still on here. A few other things I want to test here. I have this cartridge that Jacob provided me. It's a Nintendo 3DS new cartridge. 4300 in one. I guess it's just like a normal DS game, but it has like a little SD card here with a sticker over it. No idea if this is gonna work on a 3DS, but let's find out. Deep Labyrinth Atlas USA. It looks like it's working. Oh my gosh. Are there like DS games already on here? That's amazing. Oh, we got new Super Mario Bros. Just ready to go. Incredible. I did not actually expect that card to work. Oh, the analog stick has seen better days. It gets a little stuck sometimes. Oh, also, we did get a stylus with this console, so I guess I can go ahead and test our touchscreen. I think this is the OEM stylus, the one that extends. Let's see, we're on version 2.2.0-4U. I imagine that is a very old system firmware, but I can find out. Oh, according to Nintendo's website, this system firmware is from 2011, so yes, it is very old. Not sure if that means anything, but it is pretty cool. I guess I should check for parental controls. There's always a chance, right? Oh, choose a 4-digit pin. Okay, there's no parental controls. Perfect. What? What? I thought a kid owned this Switch. Or Switch. 3DS. Guess I'll try connecting this thing to the internet. Get this internet connection out of here. Well, for some reason I can't get it to connect to the router, but I imagine the Wi-Fi probably works fine. It's just on an old system firmware. Who knows? Let's go and move on to the Blue console now and see what's on this guy. What the heck? Why are the icons so small? Anyway, we're booted up at least. Oh, this one's got the camera set up a little different. It has like, you have to press L and R at the same time. The other one, if I just accidentally tapped one of them, it opened up the camera. They must have changed that at some point, or maybe that's like a system setting. All right, there, I arranged the icons a little more sensibly. Oh, I forgot to check for Mii's on the other console. Let's go ahead and open this up, see if there's any Mii's left on here. Welcome to Mii Maker. No! Oh, guys, the red console has Mii's though. Let's go. Oh yeah, we can look at the Mii's in 3D. How's that look? Oh, we got everyone here. We got Aaron. He's got the crown. Mario. I would not say that looks like Mario. Christian, Zach, It228, It8, and that's it. I'm not complaining. Mii's on a 3DS, I feel like you do not see that every day. Anyway, going back to this one, I immediately want to open up the system software this time just because I'm curious, like what kind of system software are we looking at compared to the last console? Oh man, 7.1. When did that come out? Whew, February of 2014. 3 years after the red one was last updated. That's crazy. 2.5 years, whatever. HW test. Don't steal my net. Batnet. Okay, not quite as funny as the last one, but interesting. Any parental controls? Okay, it's asking us to set up, so that's good. We don't have any. Oh yeah, do we have an SD card? No, that's a shame. Also, by the way, the speakers on this thing are really bad. They keep like sounding super tinny and vibrating. Let's check the activity log. Will this console beat 11,000 steps? Ooh, it thinks it's 1/1/2011. That's interesting. We got no steps anywhere? Total to this 0.0? Oh, I wonder if this console was factory reset. That makes me a little sad. Let's open up the camera though, make sure this all works. Oh yeah, I got a good photo there, guys. Face cam works too. Okay. Do we have any other photos saved on here? Oh, we have one more? What is this, a bag? Hey, guys, if you can make out what that is, let me know. I can't tell. Oh, God, that sounded awful. Let's go ahead and throw a game in and make sure this console can read everything okay. Oh man, this analog stick feels awful. It's so grimy. Let's play Mario Kart DS Flash 2 Mbit 256 megabyte. Is the nickname Alex76 base correct? The name can be edited later in the options menu. Where did that come from? All right, well, that's working fine, surprisingly. All the buttons feel okay. Like I said, the analog stick could use some work, but it's fine. Either way, if you can't tell, I don't know what these consoles are even supposed to be. These are just consoles that were sitting around the office. So are they supposed to be refurbished or like brand new consoles or pre-owned? I have no idea. If they're supposed to be refurbished, I would not say they did a terribly good job. There's a lot of grime and stuff that could easily be cleaned off. But I'm gonna go ahead and open up the back of these consoles and just check that the batteries look good. Maybe they're like third-party batteries or something. All right, I got both consoles opened up here, and as you can see, they definitely have OEM batteries, and they don't really look too messed with. I mean, maybe there's like some minor scratching and stuff on the back of this red one, and they got like a little bit of dirt and grime, so refurbished, probably not, but totally fine working pre-owned consoles, yeah. I wish I knew how much we paid for these, because this kind of almost seems like a good deal.
I'm free.
Except I just turned over this blue one and a screw fell out. What? Where did this come from? Huh?
Number 13.
If you guys watch the Jacob R channel, then you know that we get thousands of consoles per year, and every once in a while we'll miss one and it'll sit in a box for years. That's exactly what happened with these two PSP consoles we got from Aliexpress. And if you've seen the kind of consoles we've gotten in the past from China, then you know exactly how bad these consoles could be. Let's open them up and see what we got. We got a felt bag. It's like that Ugh, gross velvety texture. What is this bag? Does this have a charger? USB mini cable? And then 2 like USB charging cables. What is happening? What? Naruto. Okay. All right, let's open the gross felt bag. There is indeed a PSP console in here, and it's used. You can see it's very scratched up. I'm pretty confident these are supposed to be refurbished, so that might be okay if it's a little dinged up, but still works fine. It feels pretty heavy, so I bet there's still a battery inside of here. Let's find out. Yep, and it's an OEM one. Wow, and it's not bloated. That's shocking. Now, I think this is a, yep, PSP 2000 based on that model number there. Also, can I just say, I love this color. It's just this like baby sky blue. Has like a subtle sparkle look on the back. What are the chances we have a free game in here? 0. Do we have a memory stick in here? We do, wow. Oh, it's one of these like little micro SD card adapters. That's awesome. 128 gigabytes, wow. That's more than enough for a PSP. Now, it came with all these cables, but it doesn't actually come with a charging brick. And actually, because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and open the other console we have here in case it does come with a charger. All right, I got this box out of that bubble mailer you guys saw. I think I can just open this up and, oh boy, what is going on here? Oh, it's an actual charging brick, but it's like a European one. Yeah, it is, it's the wrong region. We have the console in a little, you know, sock. And we have a USB drive? What does that say? All-in-one mini multi-in-one memory card reader. Oh, and the side's got little labels and you can stick other things in it. It's a micro SD, yeah, right there. MS Duo, which is the thing for the PSP memory, and then some other things too. That is awesome. Let's go ahead and slide this out of the bag, pop it out of its little black sock, and this is, oh my, this is a fat console. This is definitely a 1000 model, right? Yeah, it's a little hard to tell, but it does say 1000 there. And I gotta say, this color is wild. It's very gold. I didn't even know they made a model of PSP like this. The buttons look like fake though. I don't know. There's something about them that looks like they're either really well used or they've been replaced and they're like slightly the wrong color or something. And looking on the back, just like the face buttons, this back panel here doesn't quite match the rest of the color of the console. Do we have a battery? It's actually the 1000 models that really have the most problems with batteries. It is the right battery pack. Taking a look at the battery here, it might look a little swollen, but I think that's just like the natural shape of this battery, so it doesn't look too bad. But let's see, do we have another memory stick doing here? We do. Whoa. That was crazy. It's another one of these micro SD card adapters. It has some writing on it. What does that say? I don't know. It looks like some numbers or something. I can't quite tell. We have a very adorable looking little red micro SD card, 128 gigs as well. Are these gonna have like games and stuff on them? I don't know why. I get a vibe these might be like jailbroken consoles. I kinda wanna do that again.
I'm free.
Whee! Oh my God. I went across the whole room. All right, I successfully retrieved the memory card, put it back in there. Will this console have power? Nope. Ooh, how about a free game? Bam. Nope. Oh, and I will say, because I didn't mention it for this console, it looks pretty good. Scuffs, scratches, but it's clean, and the buttons all feel pretty decent. I'm gonna go ahead and plug both of these consoles in, let them charge up a little bit, and come back. All right, guys, I have my PSP. As you can see, I have decorated in its wonderful stickers that it came with. The back is completely perfect. I don't want you guys pointing out any mistakes. Don't do it. Let's go ahead and turn it on, though. It's still charging, but I think PSPs can turn on while they're charging up. Oh, there it goes. We got the date thing here, so battery was definitely 100% dead. Wait, did that say circle to enter? Is this a Japanese console? That would explain why I've never seen this color. All right, but let's scroll around and explore this console. 11 gigs free on the memory stick. I had to hit circle to go into the folder. Is this gonna have like 20 billion games? I see a little loading screen. Oh, there it goes. The City of Final Fantasy. Is this a Japanese game? Sure is. Oh, yes, I can read this. That is quite the cover art. I'm gonna scroll away from that one. Also, holy crap, there are so many games. Oh my God. Is this every game? Wait. What is this? A Game Boy emulator? It's a picture of a cat. GPSP mod. You know what? I don't even want to know any further. Like, I'm not gonna look at the system info or anything. I'm just gonna open this and see what happens. Oh, yep, that is a lot of Game Boy Advance games. I'm just gonna launch something. Oh, it's Mario World, perfect. Japanese Super Mario World, okay. Gotta say, runs pretty well, which is impressive. Oh, there was a little bit of screen tearing there. You know, I know nowadays you can run a Game Boy Advance game on a toaster, but think about the fact that the PSP came out one generation after the Game Boy Advance, so being able to emulate it on this console is like pretty wild. Anyway, so I'm gonna, oh God, what did I open? That is so much text. PSP XMB, yes. Okay, I made it back to the XMB. That was scary. All right, let's look at the system settings. What is going on here? We got P742. The system software is 6.60 Pro-6:3 infinity sign. You know, I could be mistaken. I don't think that's an official software from Sony. I guess let's just go back to the games and see what else I can find. What is this? This is just at the bottom of all the games, and there's no info about it, and it's... I guess we gotta open this up. Final Burn Alpha for PSP. All right, I clicked something. Is it opening a game? Oh, something's loading. PGM. Nothing's doing anything. It just says Polygame Mast. I'm gonna close out of this. I think this PSP is getting abducted right now. It won't close, it just keeps making noises. Oh wait, it finally loaded back. We're out of that nightmare. I guess one of the last things I want to do with this console, can this actually play like United States games? It is a Japanese console, I'm pretty sure, but maybe it's like jailbroken to work? Oh! That's loading? There's no way. Oh, it's a jump scare every time. Stop. I just can't believe it's making these noises, but it's actually like loading up the game. Refurbished, guys. Refurbished console. I have a few more games here. I guess we can find out if it's the game that's making that terrible noise or if it's the console itself. Okay, I think it's the console. Oh, it screamed a bunch, but it looks like it's actually loading up. Let's go ahead and launch. Is the PSP usually region-free? Ah, yeah, PSPs are region-free, so it's not special that this console can play US games. Wait, are we frozen? What happened? I don't think it's making past this screen. I'm just gonna close out of that. Well, good thing the console has 20,000 games on it, because I don't think you're gonna wanna deal with playing an actual UMD on this piece of junk. All right, guys, moving on to the gold PSP. Let's go ahead and turn this sucker on. Ooh, it's booting up. Oh, this also says circle to enter, so maybe that also explains why I've never seen this gold color. It might be a Japanese console. All right, let's see, guys. Oh, this one has 42 gigabytes free space, so we might not have as many games on this bad boy. Battle Royal? Here it is, Battle Royal. I have never heard of this game. It's like one of these games. You're throwing the boys out to gather crops or whatever. I guess it's a real game then. Anyway, what else do we have? NBA 2K13. That's pretty late in the life cycle of the PSP, but okay. What is this? Capcom Play System emulator for PSP. Oh, and there's like more than one of those. Nestor J. Ew. Game Boy Advance emulator? Okay. This one's different than the other one though. Let's go ahead and try this out. Oh, that's a lot of Japanese characters. Oh my. Is there anything in English? Nope. I guess I'm picking this one. Is this knockoff Pokemon? What is this? I don't know. This emulator seems to be running fine. Let's take a look at the system settings on this gold console here. We got P677. System info 6.61 Pro-C Infinity. Slightly different version, but seems mostly the same to me. And yeah, I think the only thing left to do, unless I wanted to play all those games, is try out a UMD on this bad boy. That's a good sign. I hear it churning, but it's not, obnoxiously loud or anything. Yeah, I hear a bunch of, clacking and clunking in there, but it doesn't seem to actually be reading the game. So let's try a different one. All right, I'm trying this thing. I think this is Japanese Ratchet & Clank Size Matters. And once again, I'm hearing a lot of clunking, but it's not actually loading anything. Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't really have any other PSP games to try on this thing, so I think we're gonna have to, for now, claim that this console cannot read UMDs. Either way, let me know down in the comments what you guys think of these weird refurbished AliExpress PSPs. What is refurbished about them? They don't read games. We'll never know.
Number 12.
The world of AliExpress is filled with a seemingly endless amount of horrible emulation handhelds, and I have for some reason made it my mission to buy and check out as many as I can. But guys, I don't know if you're ready for the one I have to show off for you today. It's bad. Oh baby, Gamebox Power M3. Oh baby, it's green indeed. And you know what? After shipping and stuff, we paid about 30 bucks for this bad boy, so I expected a bit of a piece of garbage, I'm not gonna lie. But this feels almost decent in the hands. All right, I got it out of the packaging, and this is another SUP console. We've seen a SUP before. All right, we got this guy in a little while ago. This is why I say it's a SUP, because like, SUP, what does that mean? This is very concerning to me because the SUP might have been one of the worst consoles I've ever tested. And actually, now that I remember correctly, we featured this on our Smokin' Silicon channel, our channel about phones. For some reason, this was bundled with a smartwatch. I don't understand. Anyway, SUP gives me bad vibes. That's all I'm trying to say. Charging port on the bottom. That's our AV port. Ooh, an SD card. Okay, so that's, it means it can play multiple types of emulators, maybe? What is this back cover? Is this our battery? Okay, it is a rechargeable battery. That's good. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn this on, see if it has any power. No, I don't think it does. But maybe if it's plugged in, it'll turn on. Oh, baby, there we go. Oh, man, that looks really bad. Also, what is the console doing? It keeps like turning off and back on. Maybe it needs to charge for a little bit. Can you guys see that? What is this like light bleed right here? You know, I think it uses the same battery as the other sub console, and I'm pretty confident this was still charged up. And let's see, BL5C, 1200 milliamp hours versus 1020, but they're both 3.7 volts, so they should both work. Will this let the console boot up? You know, I will say overall, we've been fairly lucky when we get these consoles in that the SD cards have not been like total pieces of garbage that instantly corrupt. I'm gonna take the SD card out and try turning it on, see what it does. And nothing different. It still just turns on and then goes to a black screen, which makes me think it actually might not be the battery. It could be this SD card right here. Let me just take the SD card from another console. All right, this SD card is from this thing, the X7S. We must have covered it at some point, but I do not remember what this is. And it did nothing. All right, we're trying this thing's SD card now, and nothing. All right, we got this thing's SD card up next. Sure enough, black screen, and nothing. Maybe I'll put the SD card on my computer, copy the files over to a known good SD card, and then maybe try that instead. Okay, I do see the SD card on my computer. Either way though, I'm just gonna go ahead and take everything and copy and paste it to my desktop for now. Well, since we're here anyway, I guess we can take a second to look at what kind of consoles this thing should have. GBA, MAME, Mega Drive, NES, Res, Neo Geo. Oh, okay. All right, I've copied everything over to a different SD card. Let's go ahead and try this one out. You've got to be kidding me. The little hole for the SD card slot goes straight into the back of the console, and it's like misaligned in there, so when I went to go put the SD card in there, it just fell into the console. I feel anger. All right, there we go. I got my SD card back. All right, there we go. We got the SD card in there for real this time. Did this even work? Did this do anything? Come on, sup, you can do it.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Wait, guys, hold up. It's working. It turned on. I handed this to Ryan, our resident portable console expert, for exactly 2 seconds, and he got it working. Ryan, would you mind explaining your process?
When you handed me the console, I flipped the on switch.
Yeah.
And then I saw games.
I mean, isn't he amazing? I can't believe it. Yeah, so we figured out that the problem that entire time was that I had the console plugged in and charging. If I turn it back off, and then try turning it on again, back to the black screen issue. Have you ever seen this before? Not just on any console, but on any electronic device. It doesn't boot if it's plugged in. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what is going on anymore. But yeah, not plugged in, turn it on, give it like a few seconds, and games. All right, well, let's finally start exploring this console. That's the PS3 XMB home screen menu noise. I want to go to the settings first of all. The screen is so dark. Also, I hit the Y key to go into this menu. I don't see anything about the brightness. Oh, of course. You hit Y button to go into menu, A button to go back. I have no words. Well, normally I wouldn't do this. I would want to give you guys, the portable console experience, but I think I have to plug this into a TV so you guys can see literally anything that's going on while I can also, look at the screen and play it. Okay, after messing around with the settings a little bit, I figured out how to get it to output to a monitor, and the quality is horrifically bad. Like, oh boy, bad. Also, I don't know why this screen looks so different now. It doesn't have like that blue background, it's just black. It doesn't really matter, just a little strange. Anyway, you can see on the bottom now that we have our emulation consoles, just like we saw on the file system, NES, GBA, Mega Drive, Super Famicom, and MAME. Why are these always just like random fighting games? Like, why? Let's play Metal Slug. Metal Slug can be slightly demanding on a console like this, so... Oh, the screen is cut off. Oh, boy. That is not good. Oh, we're dropping a lot of frames. All right, we're playing. It is definitely not running at the frame rate it is supposed to. The controls are so bad. The buttons, they're fine, I guess, but the mapping of them is horrible. I have to press the R button to jump, X button to shoot, and the Y button to throw grenades. Even on this crappy console with this kind of performance, Metal Slug is so dang good. Oh, so fun. Come on now, they don't make pixel art like this anymore. All right, let's see if I can get back to the main menu. There's a home button here. Okay, this actually opens up a menu. This thing has save states. That's kind of impressive. For now, let's just go ahead and exit. My bad, I gotta hit the Y key. Well, no, that didn't work. X. My bad, this time it was the X button to go back. I don't understand that at all, but anyway, we saw it struggling a little bit with the Neo Geo stuff, so hopefully some of these other consoles will be okay. Let's try NES. God Chinese. That cannot possibly be the name of that game. I gotta launch that. There he is. Oh, this must be like an RPG or something, but it's in Chinese, so I can't make out any of this. Where's the bunny? Okay, this is a Japanese game, it seems. This is a pretty funny pixel art for the NES. Okay, so you just walk around and you do little mini games. I mean, it's a nice little game, I guess. Anyway, let's see what else is on this thing. Warm Blood City Special. Anytime I say city, I just assume it's River City Ransom. So I don't know why, but that game always gets translated into like the weirdest English words. Yep, every time, man, every time. Is this the frame rate the game runs at? But this is really slow. That could just be the game. Let me try a game that I actually know. Does they have like Mario on here or something? Very random assortment of games, by the way. They're not in alphabetical order. They're just all over the place. Castlevania, perfect. Oh, Japanese Castlevania, all right. Yeah, it seems to be performing just fine, but I think what I was noticing is that there's a lot of screen tearing going on. Like just as I like walk through here, like, oh God, yeah, look at that. So it makes the game look a lot more stuttery than I think it really is. Wait, we have Castlevania and Castlevania 1. That was Castlevania 1. What does that mean? Is this not the same game we just saw? It is. What? Why? Gradius? 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 Rockman 4 specifically. No other Mega Man games, just 4. Oh, yes, Super Mario 14. Every one of these emulation consoles has specifically Super Mario 14. This is the one where he has his sword, right? Yes! Also, the performance of this game is awful. Is that Spiny Boy running backwards? What's going on up there? Okay, good. Super Mario Bros., the original. This will be perfect for me to see if this actually has any slowdown. I didn't notice anything in Castlevania, though. I mean, it doesn't feel good, and there's a lot of input delay, but I don't notice any slowdown. I mean, even with the repeats and stuff, there are, Contra 30 Life S-Guns. It's got like, it's a ROM hack, I assume? I was gonna say, it's got like a good variety of games despite having like copy-pasted games over and over again. Do you indeed start with 30 life and S-Gun? You do. Let's see, do we get the spread shot? Yeah, very nice, very nice. Milk Nuts. I am seeing a lot of... I was gonna say I'm seeing a lot of repeats. Tekken 2. I have not seen that one before. Tekken 2 for the NES. Yeah, we gotta launch that. We have to launch that. This is so cool. Well, let me know down in the comments if you guys have ever played Tekken 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Anyway, let's look at something a little more advanced. Let's move on to Super Famicom. Looks like fairly normal game so far. Sure, let's play Frogger. There he is. Get ready. Oh, I'm ready. I mean, it's playing okay. I have no idea how this game ran originally, but it seems fine enough. Oh, there's not that many games on here. Only 67 Super Nintendo games? I wanted to find a game I'm more familiar... sure, Earthbound. A game I've, played extensively so I can tell if the performance is going to be okay. Earthbound will work. This is also a good game to test something. All right, I want to try something real quick. So we're playing on the TV right now. What happens if I unplug this while we're playing a game? Are we just, like, screwed? What? Okay, I think you have to turn the console off now. You just can't change it back to the portable mode? Oh my God, look at how bad that screen is. Like, what is happening there? The screen is literally damaged. Oh my God. Yep, that's it. That's the worst Super Nintendo emulation I've ever seen. Look at how dark the screen is. It should not look like that. Is it supposed to look closer to like what's going on over here? All right, I've had enough of this. Let's go ahead and connect this back up to the TV, see if we can keep playing there. How about like GBA? Can we play GBA games? Sonic Advance 2 right off the bat. That's a great test. oh God, it hurts. It hurts to look at. Oh, I can't look at that anymore. That is awful. Pasture Boys and Pasture Girls? I've never heard of a Pasture Boys for Game Boy Advance. Is this like Harvest Moon? Is that what this is? Pasture Boys? Whatever, you guys have seen the majority of what this thing's got going on. This is a piece of garbage. Do not buy this. Only thing left to do is to open it up and see what's going on the inside. All right, taking the back cover off, we have a very empty looking green board here. This front piece has all our buttons. It's actually slightly more elaborate than I would have expected. Here's our terrible screen. I am inclined to believe that our screen was just busted because like even really bad screens these days don't look that terrible. You guys see that? It's bent right there. Maybe that's what's causing our damage. And then beyond that, we just got 2 chips up here. This is probably our main chip that's doing all the work. Either way though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and let me know if there's any other SUP consoles you've seen out there. Is there one that's even better than this, like the SUP++?
Number 11.
These days, you can literally buy hundreds of cheap handheld knockoff consoles from China. And while sometimes they are pretty awesome, other times they really suck. Now I wonder which side this $50 Switch-like console will fall into. Let's open it up and find out. All right, guys, here she is. And right off the bat, I gotta say, this looks almost identical to a Switch Lite box. Yeah, I mean, come on. Top 10 simulators, big screen game console, HD quality, trustworthy. Oh, now I know I can trust it. Lists a bunch of games that can apparently play PS1 and N64, huh? Another interesting detail here I noticed on the front. Apparently this has an OLED screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and open this box up. Okay, I mean, it feels cheap, but it is certainly not the worst feeling hand. Oh, these buttons, guys. Oh, they are not good. Anyway, let's see what else is in the box. HDMI cable. Does this thing support HDMI? That's kind of cool. And then for whatever reason, we have 2 controllers. All right, guys, here's the console. By the way, it's called the PS5000. That's Sony. We're just going to let that happen. That seems like that can't be allowed. Let's go ahead and take the screen protector off. Oh, no. Do you guys see that? What in the world? I was about to yank the entire screen out. It broke off. I don't know. I'm trying a few more times, and I just cannot get that screen protector to come off. If there's even a screen protector on there, I don't even see anything. It looks fine to me. So if that's the case, what was the point of this? Why? Anyway, top of the console here, we have 2 micro USB ports. That's a little unfortunate. I feel like we could get USB-C in here. We also got our on-off switch right there, a little mini HDMI port. That's very nice to see. A headphone jack, and then our TF card. 64 gigabytes. Not bad. All right, guys, hold on. We got to talk about the button situation here. We got BA and then X and Y. And first impression, you're like, oh, that's Xbox or Nintendo style. Nope, you're wrong on both fronts. It's neither. Whatever. Let's go ahead and turn the console on and see what happens. Oh, God, why so loud? Why? All right, now what button am I going to have to hit to select the options here? A? Nope. What? Start? No, it was A. It just didn't work the first time. Okay. Off-screen settings. Oh, this is like the screen timeout. Normally on. I would like the screen to normally be on, yes. And then the only other thing I see here in the settings is the system info. GB2 Retro Game Firmware 1.0 2020 was last updated. Okay. Tip, when the handle is used, it cannot be charged. Same though, same. By the way, guys, still not really sure if it's an OLED or not. I'm leaning towards no, but the brightness is not high enough that I can actually like tell if there's a difference when I turn the console on. Like usually you would see like a backlight turn on if it was like an LCD or something, right? Anyway, this screen is totally fine. I wish I could control the brightness somehow. There's literally no setting for that. That's crazy. Just looking at the instructions here, and I see this little thingy right here. 24 is my double horn. I think that's pointing to the speakers. I'm going to call it that from now on, the double horn. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Basic functions. Display 5-inch IPS OLED screen. It can't be both. You can't be an IPS and an OLED. That doesn't... They clickbaited us. This is a scam. Well, either way, I don't see anything in there about the brightness, so you're stuck with whatever level this is. Incredible. All right, what do we have? Street Fighter 2 CE, King of Fighters, Street Fighter 3, Dino. Just Dino. We got Waffle. By the way, there's not that many games on this thing. There's like, I can't even read that. That's like, what, 12 pages of 3 games each? That's less than 40 games. Like, come on now. We got Mega Man 2, The Power Fighters. What is this? All right, this has to be the first game we try. I don't understand what I'm looking at. Winners don't use drugs. Okay. What is this? This must be an official game. I've just never heard of like a Mega Man arcade game. Oh, and it's just like a fighting game. What was that? What is going on? Why do I have a dog now? All right, now how do I go back to the home screen? Oh, okay. Start and select at the same time. That's actually pretty intuitive. Ooh, I found more things. I went down here to the bottom row and you hit the game menu and it looks like I have more emulators to choose from. Let's just try Famicom. What do we got here? Why are there a bunch of like Chinese version games? Like, I guess that's fine, just it's weird. Ninja Dragon Sword. Shadow Warriors? Is that what Ninja Gaiden's called in certain places? It's news to me. Immediate complaint here. They got the buttons swapped around. They got the B, it jumps you around, and then you hit this to attack. I don't know. I'm all mixed around because usually when you play these games, you're playing on a 2-button controller. It feels wrong. I guess it might technically be corrected that those mappings would feel right, but you know, intuitively you'd want to swing with the X button here and then jump with the B button, but whatever. I don't know. Sure enough, it's Ninja Gaiden. It works. I'm just confused. Why are they all like Chinese or Japanese versions of the games? Oh, wait, okay, I scrolled down a lot and there eventually are some like actual NES ROMs. Color changing dinosaur. We gotta play that. Let's do this dude. Little Spinosaurus guy, I think. Oh, it's like you like fill in the lines, but it like does it for you and you gotta wait for it to like render it all. There he is. I'm painting him. Great. What a game. I do appreciate that when you go back to the menu, it actually goes back to the last game you played. So many emulators don't do that, and it's very annoying. Hot Story. This game series literally always gets translated into like such a weird sequence of words. It's always this series. What is the actual name of it? Put it on screen. Anyway, let's move on to something else. Let's try Game Boy Advance. And once again, we have more like Chinese games. At least these ones are labeled. They have like a little C next to them. U, I would assume, means USA. Sonic Pearl Party. This sounds like I'm on the wrong side of the internet, but let's go ahead and just try launching this up. Oh, it's Pinball Party. All right. I'm good on that. I don't really want to play a pinball game. White Knights. Aria of Sorrow, I'm pretty sure. Castle City Zhao Wei. And this one I'm pretty confident is Harmony of Dissonance. I gotta try this. Oh no, this one's Aria of Sorrow. Well, yeah, anyway, it's besides being Chinese for some reason, it does work. Buttons feel bad, but whatever. Colossus 2 GBA is Crash Bandicoot Entranced. Close, guys. Real close on that one. Xiaolong Sparrow. that Spyro the Dragon? Okay. These are all US games too, so like why are they translated? You can see the game right there and it doesn't match up. Like how does that happen? Super King Kong 1? Sure, let's play Super King Kong for the GBA. And yeah, I mean, everything's controlling, running fine, no slowdown, no nothing like that. So in terms of performance, the console's pretty good so far. But we'll see how it really does when we try out PS1 emulation later. First, I want to try Super Famicom here. Because usually if we're going to have performance problems on a console, it's going to start with the Super Famicom. Rockman X. Sure, let's try that. Now here's the real question. We're on a Super Nintendo now, so all 4 of these buttons should do something. Oh no, they mapped it wrong. Because they have the Y and X buttons swapped around, they actually map the controls where, you know, Y would normally be over here. But it's up here now, so your shoot button is here. I mean, I guess at least your jump button is A. Wouldn't that normally be on B? Hold on, I gotta look at this. Okay, I think I fixed it. I had to swap some things around. In the actual controls, they showed these buttons as being swapped too, so like, it didn't have to be this way, guys. Well, anyway, everything else about this seems to work fine. It's performing okay. It's a bit of stuttering here and there, like it's not V-synced properly, like with the screen, but whatever. I would call this perfectly playable. You know what I don't see here, guys? They advertised it on the box, but I don't see N64. Unless N64 is somehow in the CPS or 4-player section. I doubt it. Well, whatever, let's go ahead and try out PS1 and see if this thing can really handle it. Oh, we got Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but it's the Japanese version. What are we doing? Why are they just random versions of the games? All right, the game's loading. Now, we'll really be able to test the speakers here, because Symphony of the Night, everyone knows, has a banger soundtrack. Speakers are not good. They're not good at all. They're like crackly. It's just, yeah, it's not ideal. Oh no, the buttons are wrong. Oh, come on, not again. Whatever, I'm not gonna fix it, we're just gonna roll with it. So far the game's running okay though. Now let's go ahead and play an actual like 3D game. Symphony of the Night's one of the easier PS1 games to emulate in my experience, so let's try Crash Bandicoot 3, sure. Console's getting a little warm. I don't think it has a fan built in. If it does, it's either not on or it's extremely quiet. Oh no. Guys, I don't think this can handle PS1 games. Wow, guys. I mean, I know Crash 3, it could be a little bit of a demanding game for PS1, but this isn't like a little off. This is borderline unplayable. And just for comparison, guys, here's another $50 like emulation handheld we picked up recently on this channel. And as you can see, it's dropping a few frames. It's not perfect, but this is completely playable compared to the other handheld. And I gotta say, like, all of the buttons and stuff feels so much better on this console. Now, one thing I want to test real quick, I gotta hook up one of these controllers and see if those work. All right, guys, I actually went ahead and hooked up our HDMI cable as well. And as you can see, the TV output's not too bad. I have our controller connected up. By the way, what is this controller? We have an analog stick, but only one of them. And it spins as you're trying to use it, so you can't keep it in one spot. It feels terrible. Also, why is it like a 4-button controller? We got L and R down here, and it copies the same like controller stuff over here where it's got like Y on the left, X on top. Wait, no, this one's correct. This one looks like an actual Super Nintendo controller. They couldn't even get it consistent across their controller and the handheld, guys. Like, come on now. Oh my God, this D-pad. Oh, wow. This is the worst thing ever. Anyway, I guess we can try Mega Drive. Sonic Kid 3. That's not what it's called. Sonic Jam 6? I don't know what this is. Is this like a ROM hack? Is this, where are we in Mario? Are we in Mario right now? What is happening? I mean, it doesn't feel bad. We turn into Blue Sonic. We've got the mushroom. I don't... What are these games? How do they find these games and put them on these consoles, guys? Where did this come from? Anyway, the controller works, I guess. It doesn't feel very good. Oh, good enough. All right, guys, I think it's time we shut the console off and see if we can open it up, see what's going on the inside of this thing. All right, it looks like I took all the screws out and I'm getting it to separate, kinda. There we go. Taking a look in there, I can see that there's a bit of sandwiching going on between the two halves. And it looks like if I just take out a few of these connectors here, I can separate the two halves. There we go. What a unit. What were they doing with this battery? They were just like, oh no, get it in there. It's also glued to the back, so yeah, good luck replacing that ever. Although theoretically, I imagine if you could put a much larger battery in here since it looks like you have plenty of room for it. And then on this half, besides the batteries, obviously we have our two very, very bad speakers. Looking at the main business of the console though, we have two boards on the side. They're kind of like Joy-Con boards that are for our controls, obviously. These have little ribbon connectors that go to the main board in the middle. And I mean, it looks like this just has everything. You got a couple chips. There's a little more going on than I would have expected. It looks like a full-on portable motherboard situation. And I'm sure if I kept going and went underneath this board and this board here, which I don't feel like doing, we would find the screen. But anyways, guys, this certainly was an emulation handheld. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. And if you want to see that video I mentioned earlier with this bad boy here, we compared it to a $100 model that may or may not have been the exact same console and we wasted a lot of money on it. Yeah, that would certainly never happen.
Number 10.
The PS Portal is one of the most interesting handhelds on the market right now, but there's no way to play games on it unless you already own a PS5 or have really good internet. But no more. What we have here is a PS Portal Nintendo Switch style hybrid from Aliexpress. Let's see what we got inside. Whoa. In the box, we have our console, which we are gonna unbox in a second, and a cable that, ooh. Golly. All right, and with our console here, it's huge. It's so glossy. It's also the most plasticky feeling, is that a word? Plasticky feeling console I've ever felt. The back is even worse. There's nothing going on here. You got 2 speakers on the back right here and here, and you've got a very flat, not at all ergonomic console. You got a home button, a circle button, bunny ears, and I'm guessing that's just a basic pause options button. And the buttons, the buttons feel terrible. Wait a minute, these aren't triggers. They lift up like they should be triggers, but they don't press down at all. They don't click, but the top's very satisfying. And I'm instantly seeing my fingerprint on everything. Y'all can log into my phone. The joysticks here, they're all right. They kind of remind me of like an AYN Thor with like being inside the actual circle here. But let's see how it compares to a Switch and maybe like PS Portal also. All right, so instantly the screen is relatively about the same. The Joy-Cons here, I mean, these things are huge compared to these here. With the PS Portal and the handheld here, like this black piece here should be pretty much gone and it'd be about the same ergonomics. Because if we pick this up here, obviously a much higher feeling quality, the triggers work. And the weight, honestly, the weight's about the same. If it wasn't a weird Switch Joy-Con hybrid color, you could have fooled me from like, if I was sitting on the other side of the mall, sitting on the bench, and I just sat there and looked at you playing on this thing here, yeah, I'd believe it. Now let's plug this baby in and see what we got going on. Ooh, it lights up. We got a boot screen going on. So we're in now, and as you can see, we have all games, my games favorites, arcade, Final Burn Neo. This is the Arcade system, my bad. I like that it shows the descriptions of everything that's going on here. PC Engine, NES hacks, and custom. Is there anything in custom? Whoa, what am I doing? I'm in a game. I don't know what I did. How do I go back? Oh, it's just RetroArch. And the buttons are opposite. A is B and B is A, which I guess makes sense if we're going Switch style, but the buttons aren't mentioned like that at all. So it says we have 1,300 games. What do we have for NES hacks? It kind of looks like the same stuff that usually goes on in these. There's a search button. We got Punch Out. I can't spell Punch Out. We have Punch Out here, but is it the regular Punch Out? It looks like it is also a weird stretch res. Can I fix that? Can I break these cuffs? Yeah, there's no way to change the resolution. It's stuck at the fullest screen it can go and I can't change it. The screen also is like super, it looks good on camera. I'm not gonna lie to you, this camera makes it look a lot better than what it is. It kind of looks like if someone just scrubbed like Vaseline all over it. Yeah. Do it again. All right, yeah, no, this feels honestly perfectly fine. The controllers suck, I'll tell you what. And I mean, I can see my fingerprints on, stop. I can see my fingerprints on the buttons themselves. I don't know if the camera can catch it, but yeah, no, like I can see my fingerprint. The anti-stainless steel, whatever that's called, fingerprint plastic. These aren't sorted at all by alphabet. If I want to find any Plants vs. Zombies, put me in there. Someone made Plants vs. Zombies for the NES? What? Oh, this is cool. Oh, and the joysticks. How do I, okay, put them there. Give me that. Look at the little zombie dude. He's kind of flickering, but I mean, he's here. This is cool. I mean, it's probably on every other emulation handheld, but I was shocked. I've never seen Plants vs. Zombies on here. Oh, Batman. Batman? Oh, Batman! Oh no. I can't read this. Button. Whoa. Dude, this is kind of high quality. Is this the one that's like super... Oh no! Yeah, I'm gonna beat him up now. I know the button. Bing. Whoa, what do I do here? Oh, this is difficult. Alright, Batman, you cool, but that's all I wanted to see. Where's Mario? We ain't got Mario here? How do I sort? I'm gonna have to search up Mario. Mario. Nope. Is there no Mario? Are you serious? Like, I saw the other Marios, but is there no straight up Mario? Like, we have Mario Bros, Mario's Time Machine, Mario Diapers. Is it just a naked Mario? Okay, I guess this is the best Mario I'm gonna get on the NES side of things. Mario Diapers. Oh, they fooled me. Fooled me once, shame on you. But yeah, there's no just regular Mario unless they're like Mario Bros, which should be the arcade one. Is this the Atari one? It is. Let's do a Game Boy game. See what we got here. Oh, Batman, Ninja Frog. What about Pokemon? Pokemon. Nope. Excuse me? Wait, Pocket. There's no Pocket Monsters? What is this handheld? Wait, what about like Game Boy Advanced? Christmas game. Is Santa peeing? Wait. Alright. What is the gameplay? It's just a puzzle game. Oh, no, we gotta get off of this. Elf Bowling. Is this the Windows game? You got the random names like Justice and Parents, which is actually Fairly Odd Parents Enter the Cleft. Yeah, let's do Lego Racers since we don't have any Pokemon or Mario. I want to be him. See, and with it being full screen, the start is even cut off here. Well, wait, the screen goes under the bezel. See, when I'm holding it like this for y'all on the camera, all I'm seeing is like, I barely see the actual like check up here, but it goes under the actual bezel. Wait a minute, what is going on? Oh yeah, it's racing time. All right, enough of that. I mean, everything that I'm playing plays fine. Oh, but it's not Punch-Out. Is it Punch-Out? Ubisoft. Codemasters. Assassin's Creed and the Dirt Rally people just made a game together for Mike Tyson. That's my... Back up! Dude keeps trying to fight me. Oh, this might as well be Punch-Out. Oh, I could charge it? Oh, I can't. I'm getting beat. I'm getting bullied. Hold up. Just spam the same button. How do you duck? Whoa. Homie's got to lean on him. All right. We're throwing in the towel. Throw it in. Sick of it. Take me home. Take me home, country road. Like, you have games like Monsters, Inc. and Mr. Driller. Actually, Mr. Driller's kind of tough. But you don't have no Pokemon? Let's do Sega Genesis. Let's see what we got going on. Real monsters. I want to see that. Sega. Nickelodeon. This looks very familiar. Oh yeah, it's these dudes. All right, well, that's all I wanted to see. I thought it was going to be something goofy. Oh, Batman. Whoa, look at this one. Oh, I get a batarang. Oos. I'm the Cape Crusader. Alright, there's no Batman. Yeah, let's do Sonic 3. Aw, yeah. Oh, B's not B no more, A is A. Alright, everything looks like it's running fine on the Genesis. Oh, what up, Knuckles? Yeah, everything plays fine. I mean, it's a solid experience. When you get into the game... Ow, stop it. Yeah. Uh-oh, you know what time it is. Yeah, it's the weird 3D time. Yeah. I didn't do it. Oh, now we get to the good stuff, the PlayStation. Yeah, let's do, screw it, Tekken 3. It seems like it's running fine. My friend would be so happy seeing me play King. I hate King. If y'all play Tekken, y'all know. Especially the newer ones. Hold up. Overall, the game, yeah, it's all seeming pretty fine. Can I do a grab? Yeah, everything seems fine. It runs well for Tekken. What about another game? Like, Silent Hill. I know Silent Hill kind of struggles sometimes. Where'd it go? Silent Hill vanished. It went into the fog. Oh, there it is. Oh no, it's in Japanese. Yeah, everything seems to be running fine. I mean, there's some slowdowns, but that could genuinely just be the PS1. I just realized there was like dirt under the screen, and I just used my nail to do that, and I instantly scratched the screen. Look at that. Oh, I'm upset. I already scratched it. I tried to get some dirt off. My big old fat freaking fingers done scratched it up. Let's see, PSP. Let's do GTA Vice City. Ooh, hold up. Maybe it's just the cutscene, but I can tell by the song audio, it's running at like 10 FPS. Oh! Yeah, this is running rough. Also, me turning the, steering the stick changes the radio, but if I try to use the D-pad, it doesn't work. How do I drive? I can't drive in this game. Yeah, a lot of the games that are on here aren't really like games that you go, oh wow, they have it. Yeah, like Sneezy, Smash Break, Shogi, Shift Extended, Sheep Defense, Sasuke versus Commander. That's not Sasuke. Yeah, let's do Tekken. Player name, but is corrupted. Oh, there's multiple saves? Yes, sure. Play as Roger Jr. will fight Armor King. Oh, and Tekken's supposed to be like a sissy FPS game like all the time. I mean, oh, wait, hold up. Nope, it's not. It's clearly not. It's the audio, hold up. Does that sound great to y'all or what? I'm getting bullied by Armor King. All right, PSP games do not run. But last but not least, I mean, we gotta see N64. You got 40 Winks, Aero Gauge, Asteroids Hyper 64, Banjo, 2 Kazooie, no Daiboken. Is that it? That's it? No Conquer? No Resident Evil 2? No Mario? No nothing. Oh man, I'm sad. Cruising World, sure, Cruising World. Let's see how Cruising World plays. Cruising World, counter on screen. I'm disappointed right now. I'm sad. You started off relatively well, console. I'll tell you what. I originally thought we were gonna have a great time. It was just gonna be me and you, playing some games, reliving childhood. I can't even play Conquer. Yeah, let's do it. What type of truck am I in that's going 110 this quick? Move. This is terrible. And honestly, man, I'm just sick of this console. I mean, it's cool that you can play games, I guess. It has a cheap quality. I scratched the screen. I done sat there. You can't make a save. It save states in the emulator. Every time I actually try to save the game, uh-oh, the save's corrupted. It's just not an overall good time. I might stick with the PS Portal.
Number 9.
You ever come across a device online where you're like, oh man, I gotta have that? Well, that's exactly how I felt when I was scrolling through Aliexpress and found this chopped in half Game Boy console with the screen on the bottom. So of course I bought it, and in this video, we'll test it out and see what happens. All right guys, this thing came in a tiny little package. It's got a little box here with something. We also have, I guess wait a second. Wait, I gotta put it together? You're joking, what? There's no shot. So guys, I think I finally have this whole thing together, and it looks pretty cool at first glance. Now there are a few pieces that are left over, like a couple screws. Also have a basically like our start and select membrane here, or a button press. I'm not really sure where that's supposed to go because there appears to be no start and select button on this thing, so that's a little strange. But yeah, other than that, we are all the way together, I believe. And let's take a closer look at this console and see what's going on with it. So obviously here in the front, it looks like a Game Boy DMG, except there's a screen at the bottom, and it actually reminds me of a DMG console I bought a while back. I'll show some video of it on the screen right now, but it was a pretty cool looking device. But yeah, this one's got your D-pad, your A/B. It's got a little screen down there with a couple little holes here that don't appear to be buttons. Not sure what those are for. On the bottom, got a USB-C charging port. This side we have an SD card slot, which is interesting. This side we have our little power button, which says off, GBA, and then GB/GBC for obviously Game Boy or Game Boy Color. And here we have this little flap here that kind of comes out like so. I guess it's so you can plug a Game Boy Advance game in here and then lock it in place, which is actually pretty cool. I'm not quite sure why that's needed, but you know, whatever. And of course got your battery in there, and they call it a portable cart flasher, so I kind of got an idea of what's going to be happening here. But let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what it does. So we'll start off with Game Boy Advance, and ooh, there we are. Okay, so that right there is a green and blue light for something, and all it says is SD card in it failed.
Yeah, I'm from London, where we say in it.
Press OK to reset. Well, I don't know which button is okay, but we'll assume this is maybe. Nope. That? Nope. Nope. Anything? Hello? Okay, let's try the top button here. GB/GBC. SD card, and it failed. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start by just throwing an SD card in here and see what happens. Okay, so I've acquired a no-name micro SD card, which should fit perfectly in this no-name Game Boy device. So let's see what happens here. And let's go ahead and turn this thing back on and see what happens now. So flip this thing on. And portable cart flasher, Game Boy Advance, cart test fast, cart test about. So can I scroll through? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. So you can see down there we have a little star that shows what we're selecting, or at least about to select. And hopefully you can see the screen well, but it's actually a pretty nice screen. I think they called it an OLED. It's like a 1-inch OLED screen, which is absurd. But it's pretty solid here. Let's start with about here and see what that says. Portable cart flasher version 1.10, 2024, or Studio. Press OK button. Okay, so there's not much there. We also got Game Boy Advance, Cart Test Fast, and Cart Test. I don't know what these do, but let's go ahead and just try these without any carts in them and just see what happens. Press OK button to ignore or power cycle again. Cartridge error. How about Cart Test Fast? Cartridge error. Okay. Unknown. Okay. Error. Check voltage? No. Yeah, now it's testing some more stuff with no cartridge in there. All right, let's go back and turn this thing off and actually stick a cartridge in and see what happens then. So I have a handful of games to try out, and we'll grab some more if we need to. We have Toy Story 2 for the Game Boy, also got Ratatouille for the GBA, and also a video for the Game Boy Advance. So we'll start with Ratatouille here, a game, and see what that'll do. All right, so we gotta slide this thing out of the way, I guess, and then slide it in. We'll see how it fits in there. Yeah, okay, it fits. I can kind of see why it has this thing now. It's not a super tight fit, so you can slide it out pretty easily, which might mess up things when it's doing stuff. So let's go ahead and cover that. Well, actually, you can still slide it out. What is the point of this? I guess to be fair, it looks kind of cool, but I'm not sure what the point of the flap is. But let's go ahead and turn this thing back on. We'll go to the middle part, which says GBA 3 volt. Okay, and there it is, and looks normal at first glance. We'll go ahead and click on Game Boy Advance and see what that does. Oh, wow, it got the name, well, what is that? Ratatouille. It looks like it's missing some letters, but it's close. That's kind of cool. Cart ID, BNLE, ROM size unknown, save unknown, checksum 7B, version 1.0. Okay, sure. Read ROM, what does that do? I don't know what the ROM size is, so no, go back. Well, I think I just pressed it anyway. I don't know what just happened. How about read save? I don't know what to select. We'll try out 4K EEPROM. Oh, nope, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, whatever. We saved something. How about cart? Well, it's gonna go to cart test fast, but now it's not scrolling. Hello? Okay, let's turn it off and on. Okay, well good, the button still works. We'll try out cart test fast and see what that does here. Again, Ratatouille, same thing as before, and error, SRAM testing, unknown flash ID. What? Okay, how about check voltage? Sure, do I press this button? Okay, well, you know what? Let's try out the Flash GBA cart here. So I'd assume here they're gonna take your cartridge, the game on the Ratatouille cartridge, and flash it to the SD card over here. I would assume that's what's happening. Error, unknown. Okay, how about a different game here? Or I guess I can try this game out on a real Game Boy Advance and make sure it's actually working. Let me try that first. So I have a Game Boy Advance SP here. We'll kind of just toss the game inside. I just want to see if it'll read properly. You know what? Maybe it's a game issue because it's not loading here either. That's strange. Well, let's go ahead and try out this Cartoon Network little video here we got and see what this will do. So again, toss that in there, slide our cartridge thing, go to the Game Boy Advance slot. We'll start with a Game Boy Advance little button here and see what it says. It says that name is, what does it say? Cart OET01. But again, the ROM size is unknown, the save is unknown. I don't, why is everything unknown? Let me try to flash GBA cart here. Error, unknown. What is happening? And here under cart test, again, error, unknown. Flash ID, reset. Bro, okay. How about we try out Game Boy, Game Boy Color Game Boy. What is happening? We have Toy Story 2 for the OG Game Boy here, the DMG. Let's go ahead and toss this in. And of course, we can't use our little flap now because this is in the way, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. Kind of props it up nicely, which is kind of cool. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on though. And there we go, we're on Game Boy Color mode now, or Game Boy mode. We'll start by clicking on this thing. And there you go. Okay, it's finally got some real info. We got Toy Story there. We got mapper MBC5, don't know what that means. ROM size 1 meg, bank 64, SRAM size none. So it is seeing stuff now. It's not unknown, which is a positive, I guess. Hey, and we're actually reading a ROM now. Wow, it's working. Check some matches, cool. How about read save? I wonder if we have any save data on this thing. Oh, you know what? Game Boy and Game Boy Color games do not have save data unless they had a battery inside, as far as I'm aware. I forgot about that. Okay, that makes sense. Now, how about, let's go ahead and flash it and see what happens here. I don't know what any of this stuff means. We'll start with the top one, flash cart. I don't know what any of this means. Select file, GBA. No. So when the bottom says GB, sure, select that. ROM, Toy Story. Okay, so I think I selected the right file, and now it's on a blank black screen. Well, flash has too few ban. And now even doing the cart test thing is not working now. What? Oh, maybe. Nope, error, erasing. What are you erasing? No, what? It's gonna like break my cartridge. What is happening? And now it's just stuck. Let me just turn this thing off and back on. I think that might blow my cartridge up, but I guess we'll try it anyway. This is really weird. Maybe it's my SD card, man. What is happening? Okay, so I'm trying to look into it a little bit, and it's actually not very simple. Even the website where this thing came from doesn't give you direct instructions. At least maybe I didn't look far enough, but I think the SD card is fine because I looked on it, and there's actually some stuff from Ratatouille and Toy Story 2 and everything on there, so it's doing something. I think there's a chance I might be erasing data from my cartridges. So rather than flashing the games from my cartridge to the SD card, I think it might be built the other way around, where you flash from the SD card to a blank cartridge. And so I think I might have erased my cartridges. Wow, I'm an idiot. Let's go ahead and try some more games on this Game Boy Advance SP, because that might be why our Ratatouille showed a white screen here. But let's try out Cartoon Network next up, see what happens there. Turn it on. I hope that's not what happens. So it's getting past this home screen here, which is a good sign. And get into there, okay. Yeah, it's definitely playing. Okay, so that's fine. Let me try Ratatouille one more time and see if that'll pop up on here. Oh, and now Ratatouille is working fine. Wait, what is going on? Okay, how about Toy Story 2? And yes, Toy Story 2 is also fine. What is happening, man? Okay, well, I hop back in here. I tossed Ratatouille back in the back, and I went to read ROM, and I just set it to the max, which I think was, what was it, 24 megs or 32 megs, I think? So now I think it's copying the cartridge to our SD card, and then we'll just sit here and wait for it to finish, because it's gonna take a while. 99%, 100%, calculating checksum error. Nice, so it did nothing. All right, guys, well, on my PC now, I went ahead and tossed the SD card inside. And looking at it, you can actually see we have our SD card, GBA folder, ROM folder, Ratatouille 0. And there appears to be a 32 megabyte file here that it made. I got this emulator here that we'll see if it can load it up. So we'll go to load ROM, Ratatouille here again, open it up, and we'll see if it'll do something. Ooh, oh, baby, there we go. Okay, it's doing something. Now, I have no controller connected up, so I guess we're using our keyboard in some capacity. Wow, that looks like crap. As expected on this large of a screen, but wow. Yeah, and there it is, Ratatouille. It's got the sound and everything. Sweet. Okay, it's working. Okay, so not a total failure. I just didn't know how to use it. Now, to be fair, let me pull this back up one more time. I'm still not really sure why these games are showing just so many errors and stuff. Like it says ROM size unknown. As far as I'm aware, when I just looked it up, I think the ROM on a GBA cartridge can be anywhere from, let's see, 4 megabytes to 32 megabytes, I believe. I guess theoretically you could just choose the largest one each time. So basically like what happens here is I press OK, I click read ROM, which I guess read ROM means it's gonna take it from your cartridge to your SD card. I wish it'd be a little more clear on that rather than just saying read it. And I just chose the max here, which I guess will get all the data no matter what, which is fine, I guess. But yeah, that did work. And I'm trying to go back. Okay, what is happening? I wonder if I can take that Ratatouille I just put on the SD card and flash it from the SD card to a different cartridge here. So let me go ahead and take Ratatouille out of here. Ooh, that was weird. We'll toss in Cartoon Network, and we might just have to sacrifice this here. Actually, first, let me go ahead and we'll go ahead and read this one as well. So hop in here, go to read ROM. We'll go ahead and choose 32 megabytes and go ahead and basically save our Cartoon Network video thing here to our SD card, theoretically. I think that's what's happening. Okay, I read it, and it actually says it checks on matches, which is cool. So I guess it's fully functional, it should be at least. So that's now saved theoretically to the SD card. So I wonder if we can flash our GBA cart now. Let's see what happens there. And all it says is error, unknown, check voltage. Well, in the meantime, guys, that's not really doing what I wanted to do. So I have a fake copy of Pokemon Ruby here to try out and see what happens here. So we'll go ahead and toss that in, set this thing to GBA, and we'll see if it recognizes it. So first we'll start with our cart test and see what that says. It does say Pokemon Ruby there. Okay. Again, all this stuff's unknown. Maybe that's normal for this thing. Maybe everything's unknown. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so I said flash the cartridge, and it says this will erase your repro cartridge. Kind of cool. It actually recognizes it as a fake. So let's press OK. And okay, so here we should be able to select from our SD card, I think somewhere, and then flash our game. So go to GBA, go to ROM, go to Ratatouille, go to 0, click on .gba. Okay, so now it says erasing, so I think it's gonna erase the whole cartridge and then put Ratatouille on there, and we can play Ratatouille on our Pokemon cartridge. Kind of cool, if it actually works. So guys, I'm back, and I was having some trouble. So basically I was trying to, like you saw, flash Ratatouille to this repro cart here, but it was erasing infinitely, like there was no status bar or anything, and it would go for straight up hours. So now we're trying to flash the Cartoon Network video to this cartridge here, and we'll see if that works. It looks like it is so far, but we'll wait. Here we go, 99%. Come on, you can do it. Okay, erasing done, and writing, oh, it's writing now. Let's go, come on. Although the flashing red light's a little bit scary. Okay, well, this is strange. It's stuck at 50%. Always something with this thing, man. Can it just work? Okay, been stuck here for at least 5 minutes at this point, still 50%. So we're gonna do the dirty and just turn this thing off and see what happens. I mean, like, it's a fake cartridge. I don't care that much anyway. So let's go ahead and pull this thing out and plug it in a real Game Boy Advance and see what it does now. Kind of wondering if it plays maybe part of the game but not the rest of the game. I'm not quite sure. Oh, that's not good. Let me try one more time here. Yeah, that could be an issue. Maybe give it a little old, yeah. That ain't it, Chief. We'll give it one more go. Oh, right back to it, stuck at 50 again. Come on, man. You know, I guess I could try to flash Toy Story to this ROM or this cartridge and see what happens there. Might as well, right? That one's super quick as well, 1 meg. Oh yeah, let's go. Already finished erasing, it's writing. Oh, there it goes. Okay, almost done. Verifying, come on. Let's go. I think it's done. I think it worked. I hope it worked. Okay, let's take this thing out and see if we can play some Toy Story on this bad boy now. It's gonna be sick if it actually works. All right, guys. Toss it in my Game Boy Advance here. The moment of truth, turn this thing on, and yeah, that's not doing anything. That's just stuck. Okay, that's amazing. Bro, come on, really? Well, guys, this thing seems to partially work, or I just don't know what I'm doing. Probably the latter. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.
Number 8.
In this corner, I have one of the weirdest retro handhelds you've never heard of. And in this corner, I have one of the greatest emulation handhelds ever made. They both were originally around $150 when they came out, but which one will take the coveted Kraken Cart's crown? We're gonna start off with this bad boy right here, the Clockwork Game Shell Redefined Portable Game Console. If you never heard of this thing before, don't panic. Neither had I until Jacob just randomly brought it in and it appeared on the shelf and I looked at it like, what the heck is that? And as he explained, it's a DIY, build-it-yourself game console. And yeah, sure enough, we just have all these pieces here and I need to follow the instructions and put it together like an IKEA piece of furniture. Ooh, this is like our front piece. That's pretty cool looking. It looks like we have two different back pieces. Oh, interesting. I don't know what that's for. Oh, and we got all our buttons here. And then these are all our actual electronic pieces. Could you imagine you buy like a Game Boy and you have to like put it together yourself? That'd be kind of awesome. Wow, I have the screen put together. That's so interesting. Here's our motherboard in this nice little transparent case. Looks really cool. Here's our battery piece. Now, this has been sitting in a box for years at this point, so hopefully this battery's still okay. Wow, you even have to like install the speakers. This is so involved. I love it. Now, as you guys saw, we actually have two back pieces we can use. I kind of like this one more because it gets you more like little output pieces, and these little Lego piece kind of things are neat. I don't know. I like them. And to go along with this back piece, there's like an optional little light board. I don't really know what this is for, but it goes with these pieces, so I'm going to go ahead and put that together too. All right, somehow this was the hardest piece on earth to put together. This took me like 10 minutes on its own. But regardless, I believe we now have all our pieces assembled so I can put the full console together.
You gotta be joking.
I'm basically trying to plug all these cables in, and the little... Essentially, there's like these little cables, right, that you have to plug in, but the little spots you gotta throw them into in the weird like order you have to put everything into, it's almost impossible to assemble the cables into the small holes. So I had to really put a ton of pressure to like get this cable installed correctly, and it was too much pressure and it snapped it off the board. You gotta be kidding me.
8 hours later.
Oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I was able to solder back on our little power piece. The entire assembly process... You guys know I was excited for this. I like putting things together. I am a child of the Lego set, but this was not fun to do, I gotta say. Also, I didn't notice this earlier, but in the process of the power piece falling off, I also apparently broke off the speaker port. Regardless, I'm pretty confident that I fixed the power issue, but I'm not 100% sure. So let's go ahead and plug in our USB cable. Oh, we got power, let's go. What is this? We got a Penguin Man? Now, I believe this thing is running some kind of Linux. Oh, something's loading. I'm also just running whatever default stuff was on the SD card for this bad boy, so no idea what this is gonna be able to do straight from the factory. We're booted up, okay. Oh my. The buttons, guys. Oh no, this does not feel good. We have RetroArch pre-installed on here. That's surprising. I did nothing to the SD card, so if there are ROMs, that'll be kind of surprising. Oh wow, this is just straight up RetroArch. Load content. Never mind, take me back. I see we have Cave Story on here. Is this just straight up a version of Cave Story you can just play? Can they legally include that with the console? I'm not sure how that works. Yep, here it is. This is Cave Story. Guys, it cannot be overstated how bad these controls are. They're not like the worst thing ever, but for a $150 console, this is just not ideal. They feel sticky and mushy at the same time. They're really bad. Also, the screen, I think the resolution is actually pretty solid. If I really hold that up to the camera, you guys should be able to see, like, you can see a lot of detail. But the viewing angles on it are awful. Like, just look at how much the viewing angles can affect the image quality here. Like, that is so bad. Let's see, let's go back to the menu. I saw we also had a version of Doom on here. Once again, can they legally include that by default on the SD card like this? I'm not sure how that works. There it is. We are dooming. Oh, hold on. I just noticed that I think our buttons on the back are actually working. Like I hit this, I don't know, these two buttons right here and these actually strafed in game. These two buttons on the left and rightmost side don't really push down very cleanly because of the way they have to clip into the console. They don't seem to have any functionality at the moment anyway though. Let's check out our settings here. Backlight brightness. Oh, dang. Oh my God, that gets bright. That's too bright. And none of these options really fix the viewing angle problem. Looks like they included a 16 gigabyte SD card. I guess that's fine. Apparently this thing can connect to Wi-Fi. Sure, why not? Okay, it did not want to connect. That was strange. Oh, it's got different like power modes. Performance? You'd think you'd want that all the time. I don't know. Oh my gosh, there's more games. We got Nyan Cat. There it is. You've nanned for 4 seconds. Man, if only we had a speaker to connect to, I bet we'd be hearing some funny stuff right now. How do I get to the micro SD? Oh, you have to take the console apart to get to the micro SD card? Even if I use the other backplate, that'd still be true. DIY console can't easily remove SD card. Like, what are we doing? All right, I'm gonna see what, software people actually like to run on this thing, install it to a micro SD card, throw that on here, and see if we have any more luck. All right, guys, I did a little more messing around with this thing, and honestly, I don't even think it's worth throwing a different operating system on here. If I didn't go into this earlier, this console came out originally in 2019, and even so far back as like 2022, people were essentially saying that this thing was dead. You actually go to the webpage for this thing, the only way to buy it is through Amazon, and the Amazon page just says currently unavailable. It's like that dead. So essentially the only people putting anything on this console anymore are just a really devoted 3 or 4 people still updating things. However, I did throw a ROM or 2 on this, so let's just start with NES and see how this console could handle it. Yes. Okay, I guess we're good now. We're launching. There we go, we're playing. Hey, it looks pretty good. Fills up the screen nicely. It's quite a bit of screen tearing, unfortunately. That should just be a setting I can configure. If I hit the menu button right now, what does that do? Oh, it just takes us back. That's not what I wanted. I was kind of hoping that would pull up an actual menu. God forbid. All right, let's go back into the game. None of the back buttons seem to do anything. So yeah, there's just no configuration of this as far as I can tell. And I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to do about that, but whatever. For the most part, it's playing the game fine. I did not realize we had PS1 emulation on this thing. I don't know if this thing can actually handle that. Oh, I uploaded a game. What? Oh, there we go. That was weird. If this thing could do Game Boy Advance, that'd actually be kind of nice. Let's go ahead and load the game up. It's so far running pretty well. The back buttons, once again, don't seem to be doing anything. All right, finally in the game, and yeah, this is running mostly fine, although once again, we have a ton of screen tearing. I would certainly call this playable, though. You could definitely finish the game like this. All right, I'm once again gonna take the SD card out of this thing and throw a PS1 game on here and see what that does. I have a feeling it's not gonna go over well. All right, after a lot of fighting with this stupid thing to get a Wi-Fi connection, why do you need Wi-Fi to run your games? I don't know. You need an analog controller to play this game. That's gonna be a problem. Oh, there we go. I can make the emulator think that we have an analog stick connected. I just want to see if this thing can actually like get an okay frame rate in PS1 games. Hey, you know what? It's loading this opening cutscene not too badly. Although none of my actual inputs are working. I mean, let's be honest, like even if this thing runs PS1 games, you wouldn't want to play them on this because you don't have analog sticks. And I guess you kind of have shoulder buttons. Yeah, I don't know. But either way, I mean, you can see this is actually the game running and it's running totally fine. As far as the performance, that's actually kind of impressive for what this thing is. But all right, guys, I think I'm just about done with this bad boy. Let's move on to our other console from Amazon that you can buy for $150 right now. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen, the Retroid Pocket Classic. Now, I've never used this console before, but when you do a Google search of best retro handheld console for $150, this is the one that seems to come up the most often, along with a handful of other ones. But this one is one I'm not familiar with, so that is definitely a big reason I wanted to check it out today. Let's go ahead and slide it out of its packaging. Look at this thing. Now they have 2 different layouts. They have like more of like a Super Nintendo one, like our Clockwork thing here, or they have this Genesis style layout. Wow, this is very premium feeling console. Oh, the D-pad. Oh my gosh. And do you notice that the console arrives in a pre-built condition? Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was fairly excited to put a console together, but it was not a good time, and I like doing that kind of thing. So maybe just, enjoy the fact that you can get a console that's already put together and assembled for you. Does this bad boy already come pre-charged? Let's just go ahead and push the power button and see what happens. Wow, it does. Holy, the screen on this. Is this an OLED? Oh my God, the screen is amazing. Welcome to the Retroid Pocket Classic. You will like it. Let's get started. Okay. Select your language, connect to the internet. Okay. This thing has a touch screen? You gotta be joking. Oh, it looks like this thing just runs Android. That's kind of like running Linux, but not really. Sure, we'll connect to Wi-Fi, why not? The keyboard is actually like completely fine to type on this thing. This touchscreen feels amazing. Pre-install apps. I will grab everything, I don't care. And there we go, it's installing everything for us. This is a setup of all time. I cannot believe how easy this is. Select launcher. AOSP launcher. Oh, okay, I see. Retroid Pocket Classic launcher. Yeah, let's go with that. Configuration complete. All right, here we go. Welcome to the launcher. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay. Oh wow, now we have like consoles showing up. Are there any games like pre-installed? It doesn't look like there are. Yeah, even looking around on the files on this thing, it looks like it has no games installed, which is totally fine. Go ahead and put this in sleep mode. On the top of the console, we have headphone jack, USB-C port, and a TF card slot, which is gonna be for our SD card. Oh, it doesn't have an SD card, okay. Actually, that means we have 120 gigs of storage on this. That's kind of impressive. Regardless, So I'm gonna go and throw some games on this bad boy so we can test it out a little further. All right, guys, I have the games. As you can see, I threw Spyro the Dragon on here, and it's actually running perfectly, kind of as you would expect. So not all that different from the game shell here. But I do have a few other consoles on here that are a little more demanding than what I think the game shell can handle. We got Dolphin running here. We're gonna try some Metroid Prime. Now, with this kind of control scheme, no analog sticks, you know, I'm not really sure how much this machine is really made for consoles like this, but as you can see, it's running the game totally fine. I don't have an analog stick again, so I can't really like move, but it's playing pretty good, 60 FPS. I even threw a PS2 game on here. We'll see how this goes. Now, well, I have to configure this touchscreen thing not to show up, but at least I have an analog stick. This is running kind of okay. A little bit of slowdown here and there, but for the most part, it's all right. Honestly, with this control scheme, I wouldn't be looking to play PS2 games. The idea here is that this can play the same stuff as the game shell, but I could do it for like 10 hours with the battery in this thing. It's insane. So by the way, guys, in 2026, should you buy something like the Retroid here, or a dead, discontinued, do-it-yourself console? Yeah, I'm gonna say don't buy this. I'm gonna pretend this never existed.
Number 7.
These days, there are literally hundreds of handheld gaming consoles to buy, and a lot of them are surprisingly great, no matter the price point. But here on Crackin' Carts, we ain't about the good consoles. Nah, what I have here is an SNES controller turned into a handheld console, because every Nintendo product needs to be turned into a Chinese knockoff console, apparently. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Excuse me? Is that just a random controller in a bag? No protection, no nothing. It was just in the bubble wrap, as you guys saw. It's like a normal, mostly normal SNES controller. We'll circle back on this in a moment. Here's our handheld game station. Ooh, warning, do not disassemble this product if you are not a professional. Oh, I'm a professional, absolutely. Liar! Do not indulge in games for a long time. Don't tell me what to do. Anyway, opening the console up here, we have the console right on top. Ooh, kind of hefty. And then we have another controller? Why? And then we got a AV cable and USB-C charging. Ooh, fancy. But let's take a look at this bad boy. So as you can see, it definitely just looks like a big Super Nintendo controller. Obviously what I have here is not OEM, but this is the right size and shape of a normal SNES controller. First impressions, the buttons and D-pad and everything are not too bad. The buttons are a little squishy, but the D-pad feels perfect. Nice Switch Lite style analog stick. It doesn't click in though. The R and L buttons are awful. And looking at the back of the console, this is interesting. First of all, do you see how bulbous this is? Why has it got this like thing going on the back? There must be a battery in there or something. Maybe that's what's under this door. This looks a little odd. It also seems like we have speakers on this, or at least one speaker. I think all those holes are covered up, so this is just unnecessary and fake. Anyway, on the bottom of the console, a few other things going on. Off and on switch, USB-C charging, very nice. SD card, how much SD do we get? 16 gigabytes. As usual, these SD cards are awful. They come with the console. Please, you gotta replace them, they're bad. They're gonna delete all your saves. Jeez, I had to like slide that SD card back in with a knife. It sticks like really far into that slot there, so it's actually pretty hard to get it back in. That's what she said. Now there is one point of confusion I wanna go over on Aliexpress before we turn the console on. You can see it's $12.52 here on Aliexpress. For some reason when we bought it though, it was like 30 bucks plus like $10 shipping. So like all of these emulation consoles, my point is that the price is all over the place. But here's the most important part, 5 stars. The reviews say 5 stars. Now looking at the reviews, they have a slight feel of maybe being fake. Most of them don't say anything, and the ones that do read like, I loved the ball show, I really liked it. Excellent product, I liked it a lot. What? Get a great product at a reasonable price, 2 stars. These have to be bots, right? Anyway, one last thing before we turn it on. I want to compare it to a few things so you have a better idea of the size. Here's an actual Super Nintendo game. See, it's a little wider, and unfortunately, despite looking like a Super Nintendo controller, I do not think we are gonna be able to play our games on this. And here's what it looks like compared to a totally normally sized Game Boy Advance, so it is quite massive as you can see.
What?
And here's my super extra large Game Boy Advance. I'm just kidding, this is the size of a normal Game Boy Advance. Click the video up here if you wanna check this thing out, it's insane. Go ahead and take this screen protector off if I can. Half the time these end up being kinda useless. Oh God, yeah, again, I try to take it off. This happened to me like a week ago. What are these for if they don't do anything? All right, there we go, I'm taking it off. Oh no! All right, let's flip the power switch on. Bam. Red light up top. Meme, multiple arcade. Why do these devices always have arcade games first? Do you think they want to advertise the Mario and stuff? 204 games exist. A little weirdly existential, don't you think? Ah, yes, my favorite game, M-Slug. Oh, heck yeah, we're metal slugging. Oh, it's got violence as well? That's unusual. Oh, I knifed him, that was great. How is this game so good? Oh, I love Metal Slug. Anyway, I found the shortcut to open this menu right here. You just hold start and select, that's a simple enough command to remember. Let's see, we got Dino, just just Dino. Cadillacs and dinosaurs. Woo! Look at the size of this man's arms. It's kind of hard to get a good volume on this machine. Like, the volume's either off, or if I kind of barely move it, I can get it to like a quiet level, but it's very easy to do this. Oh, it's too loud. Anyway, that's Cadillacs and dinosaurs. Let's see, what else can I find here? User ROMs and settings. Okay, and if I keep scrolling, I'll get more games. FC Family Computer. Now, I only see 4 games here, but it says start to open. So if I hit start, okay, I can see a full game list. Makes sense. Also, it looks like we have, I don't know, every NES game. This is crazy. We got Mega Man 2. This thing's amazing. Do, 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 do. I'm vibing. Now, unsurprisingly, NES games so far are running as you'd expect, but there is a little bit of like, I don't know how to describe this, a little bit of weirdness. It might not be coming across on video, but it doesn't look as smooth as it should for an NES game. So watch this, I love Metal Man. He doesn't shoot you. Look, he's a patient boy. He won't shoot you until you do things. Oh, I lied, he's doing things. Oh God, he's doing a lot of things. Someone put a stop to him. Yes, yes, take that, Metal Man. What am I doing? I'm having too much fun. We're all on NES. We have so many other things to test. But yeah, as I hold the right button here, you can see it's scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of games. Oh my gosh. This is every NES game plus a bunch of like ROM hacks or something. Maybe some Famicom games too. Let's see, do we have Mario? Half the time on these emulation machines, they don't have Mario. Oh, there it is, Super Mario Bros. Amazing. Ooh, you guys see that? There's some screen tearing every once. Yeah, look at that. As I scroll around there, this is what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's move on to Super Famicom. Yo, you got FF6 right on the front page. This goated taste. Now, the last emulation handheld we had, it could not handle Super Nintendo games. Given that this is a Super Nintendo controller, I really hope this doesn't have any problems with that. Chills. That doesn't sound right. There's something about the speaker or the emulation that's not how that's supposed to sound. Well, I don't really want to sit here and watch this cutscene for 20 years, but so far it looks like it's running fine. Oh God. Oh no, what is this? I spoke too soon. This is worse than like a performance issue. Wow, what is even causing this? Why is it going out of tune like that? That sounds awful. This is the greatest song in Super Nintendo history, and they've ruined it. All right, let's try a different game. Apparently, we have 1,100 games that exist for Super Nintendo, so let's go ahead and try this out. As you'd expect, it's every Super Nintendo game ever. At least they don't repeat. Usually on these cheap consoles, they just put the same like 15 games and they repeat them over and over again. All right, now last time we had an emulation console that was having trouble with Super Nintendo, I tried Yoshi's Island, and that was the game, it just wouldn't run. Here we go, let's give it a shot. Ooh, it's not a good start. It is struggling. Oh, whoa, what is that? God, that might be the worst thing ever. Do we have to put an epilepsy warning on screen for that? That looks terrible. Oh yeah, I mean, that is awful. It's not running anywhere near full speed. Don't understand, it's 2025. We have had Super Nintendo emulation figured out for like 20 years at this point. It makes no sense. All right, let's just see what else this thing has. We have Mega Drive, Game Boy. Is that Zelda Link's Awakening like the remake for Switch? What do you guys think? Oh no, that looks like the Game Boy game. All right, what a surprise. Wait, did you guys see that for a second? It was doing the same like weird screen thing. I mean, at least this looks like it's running okay. Oh, you know what? I haven't been using the analog stick. Does that work? Yep. Anyway, let's go back. What else we got? Game Boy Color, sure. Game Boy Advance, and back to MAME. So this thing can handle GBA Super Nintendo. That's like the max power of what this thing can do. Actually, let's go back and try just Sonic, by the way. No description of which Sonic. If we had Super Nintendo issues, or does that also mean we're gonna have Mega Drive / Genesis issues? The frame rate seems okay, but again, we have this like frame hitching issue that's just making it not look as smooth as it should look. Like, we record our videos at 30 FPS, so to you guys, all of the games I play will look kind of slow, but trust me, this looks especially choppy. Anyway, let's go back and try out a different Genesis game, because I mean, it's Sonic 1. We gotta play Shinobi 3. Whoa, there's the same graphic issue, where it's got like the diagonal lines. The sound also sounds a little bad for Genesis games, but it's, I don't know, not quite as off as the Super Nintendo was to me. R is my jump button? What the heck are the mappings they have right now for the Genesis controller? Oh, this game is so good. I'm not noticing any performance issues here, but again, I'm noticing some strangeness when I see the parallax in the background. It just doesn't look very smooth. Low battery, please charge it in time. Okay, hold on. Okay, we got it plugged in now. I love that it doesn't even like let you keep playing. It's like, you need to charge it now or you're gonna die. Our battery's fully charged. What? Also, why is this screen so dark? It was not this dark earlier, right? Whoa, it's like flickering. What is going on? Is our unit like broken? Low battery, please charge in time. You're charging right now, nerd. All right, I wanted to keep playing some games or whatever, but nope, I gotta move on to the teardown now because it doesn't want to turn on while charging. All right, let's start with this strange bulbous battery cover looking thing. Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, it's like a giant lithium ion battery. But it looks like I don't know, it just looks like a gigantic AA. Here's a normal AA for comparison. I don't know why, this just looks really dumb. Looks like it's 1500 milliamp hours, which is not too bad, I guess. But all right, I got all the screws out of the back now. The back just pops off like so. Oh, our speaker fell out. Oh, it's actually kind of like a heavy speaker. And wow, I mean, this is one cheap looking board. There is not much going on here. Let's take these screws out and see if there's anything more interesting going on the other side. I want to take the board out now, but it won't free itself. It feels to me like the analog stick is like holding it in place on the other side. Can I like pop it off or something? Like, how do I get that off? I don't really want to break anything, so I don't know, I can't find a way to easily get that off, but I'm a professional. You guys can kind of see what's going on here as my buttons fall out.
I'm free.
That little diamond right there, I think that's our main system on a chip, along with some other things going on. But yeah, there's really not a lot going on with this board overall. And clearly that chip is not enough to handle Super Nintendo, or maybe it's just a bad emulator. I really have no idea.
Number 6.
The NES is a great console. You know, there's nothing like playing Super Mario Bros. 3, Punch-Out, or even Home Alone on your old CRT. But what if you could shrink
down this 8-bit experience?
And guys, no, I'm not talking about a screen taped to an NES. I'm talking about an entire NES built inside of a controller. So I bought one in this video. We're gonna test it out and see what happens. All right, so here it is, and that looks a lot different than the photos. I'm not sure if they sent me the wrong color, if I ordered the wrong color, but as you can see, it's an NES lookalike kind of controller here. It's got a 2.8-inch big screen. Oh my goodness, wow, okay. I thought this thing was gonna be the size of a real NES controller, but no, this thing is, it's massive. Also, is it curved? And one random screw. What is that for? But yeah, guys, here is our NES, and my goodness, this, ooh, you know what? The buttons aren't bad. But all right, guys, I have an NES controller to compare here, and I also just noticed that the text on this thing says Pocket Game, and is that not the Pokemon font? This thing just gets stranger, and it's a strange thing. Now, color-wise, it's pretty dang good. The reds are pretty close, the blacks are close, the grays, they might actually be the same. This one's just very yellowed because it's, you know, 40 years old at this point. And in terms of thickness is where this conversation really breaks down, because this thing here is actually, it's a very thick boy. So let me go ahead and take a closer look at this thing and show you guys what's going on. So we got our, of course, normal buttons in the front, except we have a reset button, which is interesting. Also, why is it double A and double B? Like, you couldn't do X and Y? You know what? Double A, is that for like a rapid double A tap or something? I guess we'll find out. But here in the bottom, we also have an on-off switch. We have a headphone jack, which is kind of nice here in 2026. Volume rocker as well. Here on the top, we have a, what does that say? Retro AD HG891, 4 AAAs made in China. And that's where our screw goes right there. Okay, we need some AAAs here in a second. But anyways, guys, there's also a little cartridge slot here, so you can play games built in and also play real NES games, I think. Wow. Oh no, that's bad. Can you guys see that? Wait a second. The alignment on this thing is horrible. Wow, it's not even close. I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that this whole thing is curved. I mean, look at that thing. You can very clearly tell the entire front of this thing is curved. That's just, it's not right, man. I paid 60 bucks for this, by the way. Pretty steep for whatever this thing is, but yeah, let's go ahead and plug some batteries in this thing, turn it on, and just see what happens. All right, got our million AAAs in here. Let's go ahead and flip the switch on. Oh, and there it is. Okay, where's my sound? Hello? Okay, so I guess no sound in the main menu, which is a little bit tragic, but all right. And now here's the thing, the top-down view of the viewing angles from the top down are pretty good, but like, watch this. There's okay, but you go down and you can't see anything. Look at that, like, oh, not surprising, but a little bit disappointing. Also, I just noticed there's a screen protector on this, or screen film on this thing, so let me go ahead and take that thing off. Actually, wow, that looks a lot better now. That's clean. Oh, wow. That's the noise when you scroll. That's rough. Okay, sound down a little bit for now so we don't have to endure whatever that is. But we have a 88-in-1, as you can see from the top. It's just built into the console. So we have Sky Zone, Whale, Fairy, what is it? Aether Base, Final Fighter, Butterfly, Interstellar, Pipe Link, Difference Picture. Are these real games? What are these? Devil Dom Doom. What? Anglerfish? There's no way this is a real game. Transmission, Adventurer, Cool Baby, Kicking Now. What? Okay, let's try Cool Baby, see what this is. Yeah, it says Cool Baby, okay. Trying to play this thing, but it's impossible to see from this angle. I gotta go like straight overhead, but then I block the camera view. I will say though, the screen is actually, it looks, I don't know, it looks pretty decent for a little 2.8, excuse me, a big 2.8 screen. That's enough of whatever this is. Let's go ahead and I guess reset this thing, and yeah, that reset button works, cool. Let's see what else we got. We got Hidden Suns, we got Bugs, we got Gym Game, Goalkeeper, Math Sort, what is that, ellipsoid? Ellipsoid, okay. Assart, Excuse me? What is going on? What? Am I in a farm? What is happening? We also got disc putt. I have no clue what's happening. Oh, there we go. I threw it. Ah, let's go. Is it inbounds? I don't know if discus putt is the actual correct name for this sport. I think it's an Olympic sport. I'd flat my face again. Dude, this is absurd. You got stuff like bomb time, 110 hurdles, 100-meter dash. Oh, let's go. Ooh, okay, so here's 100-meter dash. I think the AA is a good chance to try this out and see if it like lets me tap faster. Go, 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 go. Oh, let's go. It worked. I was faster. Let's go. Also got bangers like Shrew Mouse, Blob Man, Rushing Brothers, Caper Alone, Cowpoke, Cute Bear, Cute Fish. Wait, Cute Bear, there's no way it's a real game. It's Care Bear. Care Bear. Okay. Okay. Now how about Cute Fish? What is that actually? Oh, there's no name at all. Cool. What is this? Oh, I'm just fishing. Okay. Goldeny Bird instead of Golden Bird. Jump Jump, Doll, Monsters Ball, Clown's Mission, Cookies Labyrinth. What? Excuse me? I've had enough of these built-in games, guys. Let's go ahead and try a real game here. So I'm going to turn this thing off. We'll toss in our cartridge here. So we have Super Glove Ball here. I'm a little concerned, as we saw earlier, because this thing is misaligned. So let's go ahead and just, I guess, slide it in and see if it fits by default. And well, you know, it doesn't. And by the way, you can see how large a cartridge is compared to this game here. And that's what drew me in here. Is it's just so goofy having an NES lookalike controller thing here with a giant cartridge sticking out the top. But yeah, that ain't doing it there, Chief. Now I would assume here it's not too hard to bend this thing back into place, maybe. But again, I'm not sure how this entire thing got out of place. That's just wild stuff. Yeah, actually, I can't do that. Let's go ahead and open this thing up and see what the inside looks like, and then we'll also simultaneously try to fix this thing. And guys, as we're taking this apart, I wanted to mention that back in the past, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I bought a portable NES from eBay, and while it wasn't a NES controller where it had everything housed in, it was like a different portable system that looks very interesting. I'll show some footage on the screen so you can see it. That thing was wild. Actually, after I made that video, the eBay seller reached out to me and wanted to like collaborate with me to sell more of the units or whatever, but no, I didn't do that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take this thing apart. This thing is actually, made out of plastic. That one was a 3D printed. Which, 3D prints are just in general a little bit more jank usually. But all right, I got this thing coming apart here, and oh, we got some wire straddling just for our battery, so not too bad here. But yeah, very simplistic, as you can see. We have our cartridge slot right here, which yeah, it looks like, yeah, it's crooked by default. Man, that's so bad. Let me go ahead and show you closer up. So looking at this thing, it's kind of hard to tell here because the pins that you see back there, they're connected to the PCB, are reflecting, so you can't really see the angle that they're at. But it basically looks like this entire board with the cartridge slot was just soldered at the incorrect angle, and now we end up with this super jank crap sticking out of the cartridge. Like, what's going on here? Oh, you know what? Actually, on this angle, from this bottom side, you can see a little bit better. Yeah, look at that. Look at how rough that angle is. That's just a really crappy soldering job from the factory. That's unbelievable, man. Come on, dude. Yeah, like, it's hard to see, but on the right side, you can see the PCBs are basically in direct contact. Whereas on the left side, there's like a little tiny gap. So you know what? Maybe I could fix this. Let's pull out my soldering iron and see what we can do here. But actually, real quick before that, I want to turn this thing back on and try it with the cartridge slot off, or the back off, so I can stick a cartridge in it and see if it'll work this way at least. And as soon as you plug it in, it turns to a blue screen with a little cursor there. Oh, okay. Also, this thing is waving in the wind like crazy. That's not ideal, but kind of expected, to be honest. Oh, now it's just freaking stuck. Wow. So I'm actually not sure if the cartridge here is bad or if the game system itself is bad. So let's turn it back off and let's see well, actually, you know what? Which way does it go inside? Does it go in this way or the other way? Okay, according to the listing photos, it goes in this way, which I think is what I did before, but maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Oh, there it is. No, it's working now. Cool. Yeah, it's working, but I can't see anything from this angle. Gosh, dang, this is so freaking annoying. All right, turn that crap off. All right, let's pull out the soldering iron and try to fix this thing and get a little bit more aligned. It's been a year or two since I've soldered anything, so we'll see how this goes. But what I'm thinking is I can melt these solder points down here and kind of push the board closer to the other board and make more contact, kind of like the other side is, and maybe it'll be a little bit more aligned. We'll see what happens here, though. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Also, I love breathing in solder fumes. It's my favorite. Okay, so I did it kind of the super jank way where I basically just put my soldering iron on a bunch of pins all at once and try to melt them and kind of push it down my finger. I think if I were to do this the correct way, I would take a hot air rework station and basically spray hot air on all these pins at the same time, so I gotta push them down, but I don't have all the equipment to do that, so yeah. So I don't know, I think I fixed it a little bit. Let's put it back together and see what happens. Maybe not. Yeah, it's still pretty dang crooked in there. Okay, and I kind of forced it back together and shoved the NES cartridge in there, and it is working now, but yeah, you gotta really shove that thing in, man, like, and then you can't freaking get it out. While we're at it though, I guess we might as well try this AV out functionality and see how that works. Maybe I can actually see the screen when I'm playing. All right, AV out plugged in. We'll also plug in this DC out at the same time, or DC in, excuse me, and see how that works. That should just turn our console on without batteries. As you can see, the batteries, turn it on, and yeah, oh yeah, it works. Cool. Well, for about half a second it did. Come on, man. So we'll try an NES cartridge and see if that works on our AV out. Maybe it does, I don't know, man. And nope, no signal, but it works on the console. Okay. You know, kind of what I expect from crap like this, but disappointing nonetheless.
Number 5.
Ah, the PS2, arguably the best console of all time. But what if you took that PS2 console and made it portable? Well guys, that's exactly what dozens of people on Aliexpress have done over the years. I have one here, and in this video, we'll see what happens when you use a PS2 portable here 26 years later after the PS2 released. Now, I've tested a lot of these type of consoles over the years, and this one is probably the best one. You can see it's the PS2 V7, whatever that means, but sliding this box open, as you can see, man, this thing, oh, dude, this thing's a beast. And I haven't pulled this sucker out in a long time. Let's go ahead and pull this thing out and take a closer look at it, and oh my goodness, it's just, it still blows my mind that we have portable PS2s, the real hardware embedded inside of this like custom 3D printed shell. Just insanity. But taking a closer look at this thing, there's a lot of interesting aspects your eyes are probably drawn to. And the first thing you see is it looks just like a PS Vita. I mean, we'll do a comparison here in a minute, but this thing is straight up a fat PS Vita. And then we have our normal joysticks, we have our controller buttons, we have our D-pad here, we even got the PS Vita little home button, start and select, and then my favorite, the Made in China sticker. I don't know why that's there. I mean, it's made in China, but like, why is that there? Even got a nice little PS2 logo embedded right there. Got a little light there, and of course the case itself is 3D printed, as you can tell by like the lines on it. It's just kind of got that 3D print texture, but not bad at all. Flipping here to the bottom, we got some ventilation and stuff. Also got our power supply on-off button. Even got this little loop right here for your strap, just like the PS Vita has. And then flipping to the side, again, made in China, in case you forgot. Flipping to the back, again, made in China again. And man, look at that PS Vita there. Man, let me just pull it out so we can compare. All right, guys, look at this thing. I mean, look at this thing. Look at the front. It's exactly the same. And honestly, in some respects, I might call this one better because it's got the actual colors to the buttons and stuff, which is kind of sick. Flipping to the back, you even have the same little signature ovals on the side for your, to rest your fingers. Now, of course, the back here doesn't have a touchpad or anything, which is, whatever. Who actually used this thing? I don't know. I didn't. But anyways, let's flip to the top here, and you can see some other interesting things. We have a plus and minus, which I think are for the power. Also got an M, which I don't know what that's for. The letters on there are twisted in awkward angles. I don't know why. But also we have this little micro SD card SD adapter thing. What did I just say? It is a USB stick with a micro SD card inside. Let's plug that thing in, and guys, let's go ahead and try to turn this thing on and see if this sucker will even work. Because by the way, when I first tested this thing like 5 years ago, it didn't work. I had to fix it on my own. By the way, paid $500 for this thing, so that was great. But yeah, let's give it a try. I'll be surprised if there's any power, and there somehow is. Wow, that is really surprising. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in just to make sure it stays powered on. And I don't know what's going on with the screen, but it's like cycling through blue and green and some other stuff. I'm actually not even sure this is the right power supply. What is that? Why is it purple now? You know what? I'm pretty sure one of these buttons turns the console on. I bet it's this right here. Ah, there it is. Nice. Okay, so it's pretty nifty, honestly. And it's not the same functionality as the PS Vita. The PS Vita, you press the power button on top, so they don't have that here. But you do press this little button right here, and that turns the PS2 on. And there it is. Wow, I am very surprised that actually booted up. But we have quite a few games here to start with. I'm actually not even sure what most of these are. What is this? Black European version? GTA San Andreas, I guess. Don't know what that is. King of Fighters, Tekken Tag Tournament, Tekken VR. Not sure what that is. Okay, let's try it with the, I don't know, GTA San Andreas. Hey, there, whoa. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's really bad, actually. It started booting and it got stuck right here, and it's making whatever this horrible sound is now. What in the world? Yeah, I don't like that. I guess I'll restart it. How do I restart? Press the button. There it goes. Restart. Yeah, that's not a good sign. And while that thing's rebooting, I should give you a couple more comparisons because there are a lot of comparisons you need to see here. We have just a standard PS2 Slim here, and as you can see, this thing is actually smaller than the PS2 Slim, which is just absurd considering the PS2 Slim is inside of this thing. Like, this is real hardware, guys. Again, real hardware inside. We are missing the disk drive, which is probably why they're able to slim this thing down enough, but just imagine that. And last but not least, best of all, is our PS2 Super Slim that you've probably never seen before. Yeah, that thing's pretty small, but we'll just gloss over that and get right back into this thing and try to play another game. We'll try out Black here. I guess it's Black, the European version. I'm assuming that's what that means. And I should mention we have a few little nifty trigger buttons here, all 3D printed, probably glow in the dark. At least that's how they look. And I mean, they work. They're not the best, but they do something. So we're starting to boot up here, and indeed we have some, what is this, 50 hertz video. Okay, it's a European thing. Let's go 60 hertz here. Make sure that works, hopefully. Aha, and there we are. It is booting up here. Let's go ahead and see if we can get this thing started up, though. Oop, and this fan is ramping up, guys. If you hear that, that's the fan. And I mean, like, there's air coming out of it, but not much. I don't think it's very optimized inside of this thing, which we'll take a look at here in a second and see what it looks like on the inside. But first, we'll play around a little bit and see how this thing plays. And I gotta say, wow, the speakers are bad. Ooh. Okay, so here's a really tragic thing I'm noticing here is it's hard to do this and also position your fingers all the way around like this because your fingers have to stretch so far to click these things. Unless I like adopt a new hand motion maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's working, but like, yeah, I can't even see from this angle either. It also feels like there's some lag here. And I almost wonder if that's just like, that could be part of the game, or I wonder if there's like some kind of input lag because of how the system is running, which would be strange. I mean, look at this. That seems a little too laggy for a shooting game, right? But again, I never played Black in depth very much, so I don't really know anything about it. But let's go back and, yeah, this thing is really ramping up. Let's try another game out and see if there's something a little more familiar with here. And here's the thing, I could have sworn when I first got this thing, there were a lot more games in this. Like, I remember playing NCAA football or something on this thing, and like Scooby-Doo. Where are those games? Did I remove those? I'm not really sure. We also have some more options up here, which I don't recall what those are for. I think one is like a hard drive, one is PS1 games, I think. I don't see any of those available, but let's go ahead and hop into the options here and see if I see anything else interesting. And reiterating what I was saying during the game, you can see this thing is just so bulky. This is obviously the problem with having a console this large in your hands. It's very bulky, so it just like, it feels awkward, you know, reaching your thumbs around, clicking on stuff, and it just doesn't feel natural, you know, as much as a regular PS2 controller does. I'm sure you can get used to it over time, but it's, yeah, not great. How about we try some Tekken and see what that does? Oh, you know what? Oh man, left D-pad is not working very well. Watch this. Pressing it, doing nothing. I gotta slam down on it for it to work. That's just great. Let's select this guy. Who is this man? Oh yeah. Oh, I'm switching players now. Let's go. What if I just do this all game? Swap, swap, swap. What freaking difficulty level is this thing on? I'm just spamming the triangle button. It's just, I'm winning.
You lose.
Well, yeah, the good news is this game works. I'm really curious about GTA though. I want that game to work. I'm not really sure why it wasn't working. But let's go back and try out San Andreas one more time. And I left and let it boot on its own, and nope, it's still doing the same thing here. Is it still making the same sound? It is. What the heck, dude? Come on, man. But hey, you know what? This is a video where we try stuff, so let's go ahead and try something a little bit sus right here. Let's go ahead and just yank this thing out and see what happens. I mean, that makes sense. The game's gone now. What if we plug it back in? They're back. What if we plug in, wait. I have something interesting to try. Let me go ahead and grab something real quick. Okay, so let's give this a try. We have a 256 gig SD card here that I acquired from a different console we have. Also, why is that text crooked? Man, you know this thing is jank when it's got crooked text on it. Let's pull this thing out of here. We'll take the SD card out of this console, put it to the side. We'll take out this, or put this other little SD card inside, which has, I don't know, 100,000 games or whatever, just a bajillion games. We'll toss it in here and see just what it does. And I guess the answer is nothing. Okay, let me try something else real quick. Okay guys, well I'll try to like transfer some files and stuff, but we'll see if this pops up with anything else. I'm gonna assume probably not, but it's, you know, it's worth a try. And also the same games. Cool. I also thought I added some PS1 games, but those are not showing up either. Before we open this thing up, I want to give you the ultimate comparison, which is a PS2 controller to this thing, which should give you the best frame of reference as to what we're dealing with here. Now you can see the joysticks are roughly the same, but like just the way you hold this thing is much more natural. You know, just this direction. That's why it's made like this. This one though, like it just, look at that, straight garbage. Also, I think the joysticks are like slightly larger than these, which makes it, you know, ever so slightly harder to play. And then the D-pad is like really thick here. Like look how thick those D-pad buttons are. You gotta press them down a long ways for it to work. And same with these buttons over here. Like look how tall those things are. Like it works, but it's just it's a little too tall. I mean, for comparison, look how tall the PS2 buttons are on the standard PS2 controller. It's just like a third of the height. But guys, let's turn this thing off, open it up, and see what's inside this bad boy. All right, guys, and open this thing up. There was like 6 screws, pretty easy to take apart. Now, the hard part here is pulling it apart because they kind of, oh, there's some screws, but they kind of straddle a bunch of wires here, as you can see, and it's not super pretty. Let me go ahead and give you an idea of what's going on here. So first of all, you can see we have quite a few batteries. We've got 2 batteries over here with a pretty jank looking, you know, 3D printed pad that kind of hold batteries in place. Like it works, but it's, you know, it's jank, kind of expected. Same over here for extra battery capacity. We got 2 more little battery cells over there. Okay, so down here we of course have our USB that kind of ties into the board here, which is like an extra little board that's actually tied into a PS2 board. Let me actually zoom this thing out. So you can see here, underneath all this crap, is the actual PS2 motherboard, like the bluish greenish piece down there. That is a real PS2 motherboard that was trimmed up from like a PS2 Slim. I'm not sure which model it is, but I think they basically cut out part of it because they're not using a disk drive, and it just fits down here. It's pretty insane actually. But also got our fan heatsink here, and the heatsink has actually some aluminum foil on it to, I guess, hopefully direct some of the air down through this vent here. I guess that's their goal. Not sure it's doing a whole lot, but yeah, that's what it is. And of course, some extra little custom power PCB stuff. Whatever this one is for. This actually might be the one that was screwed up for me. Hey, you know what? I think it is. So basically, when I first got this thing, there was a bunch of solder debris like down there in that chip, just laying across it, bridging the connections. Actually, you can still kind of see it. Not a whole lot to show, but it's very jank. But then flipping to the top here, we have, of course, you can see all our controls with the triggers, the joysticks and stuff. You got a little control board here for all your controls. And they interface with the console, and then of course your screen here, which the screen actually does have an HDMI port in the back, so you theoretically could plug a different console into this HDMI port and keep it inside of it and like switch inputs or whatever, and it'll work, maybe, kind of.
Number 4.
These days, every screen you use is bright, sharp, and almost impossibly thin and flat. Which of course is perfect for all the portable stuff we use every day, but what if we had never invented these advanced displays and companies like Nintendo had to make Game Boys with CRTs on them? Well, that's the bizarre alternate reality this thing came from. A Game Boy-like portable console with a design that'll make you feel like you're in an episode of The Jetsons. But let's go ahead and open it up and see what it can really do. All right, let's just jump straight into looking at this thing. Oh man, I have no words. This is the weirdest looking machine ever. It really does look like there's a CRT on it. Now, it's still a pretty thin console, so it's not a real CRT, but hey, if it looks the part, then hey, I'd call it a CRT. And guys, look at this. It's like actually curved. And it's not just the screen. The whole console has this kind of 50s era aesthetic to it. This D-pad, this is the weirdest D-pad ever. Oh, it's really bizarre to use. You got this kind of gear aesthetic for the face buttons there. That's pretty neat. I also see that despite having all these like speaker lines, this is not actually where the speaker is. The speaker sits on the bottom of the console. Really strange because this kind of looks like a radio, doesn't it? Side of the console, normal stuff, power button, reset button, and an SD card. All right, what do we got here? Looks like it's a 128 gig from some unknown brand. On the other side, we have volume up and down. Top of the console, we have a headphone jack and separate USB ports for plugging the console into a PC and for charging. And then this bulbous shape that doesn't match the front of the console at all. Now, I wanted to pull out the R36S here because, yeah, wow, it really is a very similar shape and size. All right, guys, let's go ahead and turn this thing on and see what the screen looks like. Game. Oh, we got RGB down here. Looks like it's loading all our games. Oh my, that's loud. That's too loud. 100% volume. Why would you ship it out with 100% volume? Whatever. Wow, that is so weird. I am actually kind of impressed with this. I don't know how easy it'll be for you guys to see, but as I move the screen around, you can actually somewhat tell that the screen is sitting underneath this curved glass cover, and it gives everything this pseudo 3D look to it. Like as I move the console up, you actually can see the bottom of the screen like cutting off a little bit. Like, yeah, it's a little bit of a downside, but I think it's more of a feature in this case. Apparently we have 21,000 games. That's so many games. Wait, we have 4 games in favorites. Mortal Kombat. Someone really loved Mortal Kombat. Okay. All right, let's start looking at consoles we know. NES, perfect. I like this UI they got. It makes everything look nice and big. Featured games, official game ROM. Oh, yeah, like usual, there's 30 bajillion games here. Xmas gift? What? Doesn't sound like no Christmas song to me. All right, let's play. Oh, I'm catching. This is the worst game. What? I think I lost and the game just restarted itself. Yeah, take me back. This is awful. How do I get out of here? There we go. I don't understand what any of these games down here are. Warrior, Volleyball, Vectron. What is this? Stub game. Yeah, what is stub game? This sounds the same as the Christmas game. Lair. Optimal step. Your move. Are you trying to move the thing over the... Oh my. Win! Bro, this is not real. Where do these games come from? I'm so confused. Do they just have like Mario? Russia. Just Russia? They got Russia the video game. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's Tetris. This is boring. I did it. Anyway, this is not what I expected from Russia. What is that noise? All right, let me just search for Mario. See if there's like normal games on here. Super Mario World for the NES? Yeah, we gotta play that. Oh, it's like a D-make. That's awesome. It is always so interesting seeing what kind of crazy ROM hacks people will throw on these consoles. And hey, I gotta say, you know, oh God, we're going right away. Anyway, I was gonna say, I love the curvature. It looks very authentic. Now, one interesting thing, I'm in the menu again. It's a little unfortunate. I wanna get the image to like stretch out to the very edge of the screen here, but it looks like those black lines you're seeing are the actual bezels of the screen underneath the like plastic lens that they have over top of all of it. which is fine. It just means I can't get the underlying image to stretch all the way to the edges of the bezels that we see here. Now, while I'm in here, the other thing I want to do is see if I can turn on a CRT shader. I'm not really sure if this console's powerful enough for that, but we're going to find out. There are so many different shaders you can play with, but yeah, let's just do Z-Fast CRT, see how this looks. Okay, there we go. It's not the greatest CRT filter in the world, but that does look a little more authentic. And I do really like how we have the curvature playing more of an effect now, especially on that bottom UI. It looks really funky. It's really hard to describe, but unfortunately this does not feel like Super Mario World. It feels very wrong. Whoa, that's too fast. Oh man, I actually just noticed we have more Mario than just Mario World. We got Super Mario Bros. 4, 4 again. Actually, they just keep repeating. Super Mario 14, iconic. So many things. Let me just load normal Super Mario Bros. I gotta see if this console's actually like lagging or if it's playing back how I'd expect. Yeah, you know, this looks pretty good so far. And hey, I gotta say, the D-pad, although it looks a little goofy, it is fully functional. I'm able to play okay. Also, I just noticed something's loose. Is that the whole screen moving? Anyway, let's move on to another console next. We'll try Super Nintendo, make sure this console can handle that. Classic game, featured games. We got numbers? Oh, they're not in any kind of order? Okay, let's just search Mario again. We got 4 Super Mario Worlds, one with a lowercase on everything instead of capitalizing all the words. Let's try that one. That's not a Super Mario World. Turrican. What? This is pretty cool. I've never seen this game before. It's really neat. It's like a Contra. Anyway, this isn't Mario. Why am I playing this? Let's try one of the other 4 Mario Worlds. This is also not Mario. This is an R-Type. Give me Mario. Oh, hold up. Now this is a Mario. And yeah, this looks like it's playing back pretty well. What? Mario doesn't have a double jump. Whoa, you just jump forever? Is this cheats? Man, even when I thought I found normal Mario, I still found something different. God. Oh my gosh, I just ran right through that dinosaur. Oh, he's very confused. Me too, man, me too. So this is like ROM hack Mario, easy mode, you can't die, can't lose, can jump forever. That's really lame, but okay. Yeah, N64, really? Somehow I doubt this thing's powerful enough to actually play N64. Let's give it a shot. Ooh, that does not look right. We've seen this a few times in the past on this channel where you get these N64 emulators that just don't look very good. It's really just a core for RetroArch that's not very solid. I think it might be designed for lower power hardware like this. By the way, I don't know how I haven't mentioned this yet. This console's only like 50 bucks. Probably get it cheaper, close to 40 if you look hard enough, but I feel like that's not bad for what you're getting. Maybe not if you care about N64 though. We have 2,000 Game Boy Advance games. That's not possible, but I'll go ahead and look through a few of these, see if there are any repeats. The big game series, it's always, not always, but often missing on these consoles is Pokemon, but, ooh, look at that. They got all the Pokemon. If they have Mario, they definitely have Pokemon, so that's not too surprising, I guess. But sometimes they don't include it. They don't want to risk big Nintendo finding them. Oh, they even have the Game Boy Advance, like, BIOS stuff set up, so you get that boot up. Very cool. This is such a bizarre look. A GBA with the CRT curve. It's just, it looks wrong, but right at the same time. Just like, look at this image right here. You get the curves with the Pokemon. If this is cool to you, this is the console for you. If you don't like it, then that's kind of understandable, but maybe don't pick this one up. Anyway, unsurprisingly, after that N64 performance, which actually like wasn't as terrible as you'd think, GBA runs fine. Ooh, they got 74 PlayStation games. That actually doesn't feel like very many. PlayStation games are on a bit of the bigger side, though. They got Ape Escape. We don't have 2 analog sticks. Why include Ape Escape? That's not going to work. Let's just try Crash 2 so we can see how the analog stick feels. First impression, it's a lot like playing on like a Switch Lite. Feels pretty good. All right, loading into the game here, I noticed a little bit of hitching, mostly on like the load screens. That's pretty normal, and I imagine that has more to do with the SD card they're using. The speaker does sound pretty solid. I don't know, it's not amazing, but hey, $40 to $50 device, perfectly adequate. All right, guys, there's one more console I gotta test here. They have PSP. PSP never goes well on these cheap emulation handhelds, but, and of course, the first game, they always have to have God of War. It runs terribly. You gotta try it. It's the first game they have, so, you know, they tested it, right? I don't think so. Oh yeah, that's immediately awful. Why is the screen blinking sometimes? Yeah, guys, I don't think this is very playable. This is the worst thing ever. Not that you likely care about playing PSP on this thing, but still, it's like, why put it on the console at all if it's gonna run that poorly? I don't know. Anyway, if you stick to the things you actually would want to play on this, you know, maybe some arcade games, NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, that kind of thing, I really like this. It's just so weird. It's got that CRT energy, but it also reminds me of like that magnifying glass thing you could get as like an attachment for your Game Boy. Now, normally I wouldn't do this, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and shut the console down, and I wanna open up the back piece just to see if I can figure out what that shaking is, if that's something to be concerned with. All right, I got all the screws out. Let's see how easily the back comes off. Oh, that wasn't so bad, actually. Battery is just loose in there. Oh, there is adhesive on it, but it wasn't doing anything. Maybe if I, like, push it a little bit? No, it didn't do anything. All right, well, if I disconnect the battery, most of the rattling goes away, so that's our answer right there, I guess. Either way, though, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think of the weirdest console I think we found yet on AliExpress.
Number 3.
At this point, pretty much every console and controller comes with some form of a D-pad. But what if the D-pad was never invented and we still used arcade sticks for everything? Well, I imagine that's the alternate dimension that this thing comes from because it somehow has a joystick built into it. Let's open it up and see if it's any good. Looks like it comes inside this nice case. And here it is. This is the console. First of all, this is a chonky boy. This isn't a joystick. This isn't what they showed. Oh, here they are. You get 2 of them. What is this? Oh, there we go. Okay, it didn't snap on very cleanly, but yeah, it attaches to the top, and I think it makes it so you can put the console down flat on a table. Now let's see here. How am I supposed to actually get these joysticks on? Does this just come off? Yeah, it just slides right off. Then we put our joystick on like so, and there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, it's really goofy looking, but you know, it's not as bad as you would think. This long one here is a little ridiculous. If you didn't see, it comes with 2 sizes. I think the smaller one is a little more like reasonable to use. Yeah, that's better. Now, why is the button here a soccer ball? I think that's supposed to be a soccer ball. Why though? It also spins. Whee! Is that supposed to do that? I really don't know. Oh, interesting. This one comes off too. So you can use both sticks at once. Double the ridiculousness. That's so stupid. I love it. Anyway, the rest of the console has interesting stuff going on with it as well. The screen is gigantic, assuming the bezels are not like too big. D-pad is also on the bottom here. Oh, it feels really bad. It feels like it's rubbing up against something. That's strange. Buttons feel okay. I should clarify, this console was like 40 bucks after shipping, I'm pretty sure, so like, it's not bad for the price. On this side, we got volume, power reset, we have a TF1 slot. Wouldn't TF1 usually be like where your operating system is on cheap consoles like this? And on the other side, we have the TF2. This is usually where the ROMs go. I don't know why we have the SD card over here, but not over here, but maybe it doesn't matter. Nothing going on the top except for our chonky accessory. And then on the back, we have this ergonomic situation going on back here that looks a little special. Also, we should do some size comparisons because they were not kidding when they called this the Max, right? Like here's the normal R36S. It's quite a bit smaller than the Max here. Personally, I quite like the form factor of this console. I think it strikes a really nice balance of size while having all the controls you'd ever need. It's much closer in size and almost looks identical actually to a Retroid Pocket Classic if you've ever used one of these bad boys before. However, at the time I'm recording this, the Retroid Pocket Classic is like $100 more in this console, so maybe it's a piece of junk, but it also could be a pretty decent value. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see if it's any good. Actually, hold on a minute, I'm curious about something. So if I put the console back in its carrying case, you can't close the case with the joysticks on it. Oh, okay. It's not that hard to remove them, but yeah, that's a little silly. Can you close it without the joysticks, but with the weird like back piece still on it? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, there it goes. Oh my gosh, the size of that screen. Okay, we are booted up here. This looks like an emulation station situation. My assumption is that this is a Linux device set up to run emulation station when you boot it up. I compared it to the Retroid Pocket Classic earlier, and to be fair, the Retroid has an OLED screen, and I think it's gonna look a lot nicer than this thing's, but look at the size of the bezels. They're absolutely massive compared to this console here. Now let's see, according to this all games section, we have 22,000 titles on this console. Now I'll be honest, I typically on these consoles skip the arcade and MAME sections, but on this bad boy with our joysticks, oh, we gotta go right there immediately, right? All right, I don't see Pac-Man. I think I saw Puck-Man down here though. That's basically the same thing. There we go, that works. We're gonna launch this up. Now I noticed that the stick rotates in all directions, which might sound like a good thing, but for an old arcade game, you really want it to only be able to move up, down, left, and right. Ooh, the scaling is, they have it stretching to the full aspect ratio of the screen, and for a very vertical game like this, that is not the setup I would go with. But here we go, we're playing Pac-Man. You know, it's silly, but this does feel pretty good. But hold on, let me see if I can get to a menu. Okay, select plus X got us to our RetroArch menu here. And there we go, I just changed it to use the core's aspect ratio instead of the console's. And yeah, this is much more accurate to what I would expect. I'm getting some weird input stuff with Pac-Man here, but that is very normal on any console. Oh, hold up. Come here, you little nerds. Yeah. Anyway, God dang it. That's what I'm talking about. See, I went up, but it went a little diagonal, which made a move to the right. It's a thing. You really want a joystick that only goes up, down, left, and right. It's very important for Pac-Man. Now let me go ahead and try playing with the console sitting down like this. I have that back piece to like help level out the console. Yeah, you know, it's goofy, but this is working. Getting a little bit of wobble. That's probably more from my table than the console. It moves around a little bit if you really jerk the joystick around, but it is functional. Let me try the bigger joystick and see if that moves the console more. Yeah, especially if you're pulling like all the way to the left like this. Doesn't work quite as well as you'd hope. But hey, who doesn't love a goofy feature like double joysticks in your games? Oh, also, I forgot to point this out. On the bottom of the console, we have 2 USB-C ports, one for data transfer, one for charging, and a headphone jack. Wow. Anyway, let's go back. I want to try out maybe one more arcade game. Ooh, you know, Salamander actually be pretty good. This is a shoot 'em up game, so analog sticks are always quite nice in games like this. Missing cocktail mode. Okay. Oh yeah, this is fantastic. Again, the size of this extra lengthy stick is maybe a little ridiculous, but this does feel very good to play. Oh! All right, I was looking through the instructions here, and I can press the start key, and we get some settings. That's nice. I noticed we don't have any sound at the moment, but that's probably just because it's muted. Yep, which is fully turned off. There we go. Oh, we got some LED settings. We can turn our little RGB lights on and off. Okay, there we go. I found it. The screen brightness, it's in the settings. Unfortunately, the brightness was already almost at max, and it's not the brightest screen in the world. It looks very nice, but outdoor play might be a little bit of a struggle. I actually would say the R36S is like slightly brighter. I doubt this is on max brightness, and you can actually see it's blowing out the camera a little bit. Anyway, let's see what other consoles we have here. We got NES, of course. If it can play the arcade stuff, I don't think we need to test NES. But we can hop over to Super Nintendo next. Classic game, featured games, find by letter. Ooh, okay. I guess we'll just go to featured games. This is like all the best games you actually want to play. They're not even in any kind of order. They just have a bunch of numbers. Non-alphabetical. Ooh. Perfect. Super Mario World. Let's play that. We're going to try to do it with our giant joystick here. Trying out our speaker here. It's not terrible. Not a lot of like low end to the speaker, but sounds perfectly fine. And wow, for a 4x3 game like this, it fills out the screen pretty much perfectly. I don't know the aspect ratio of the display, but this looks pretty close to perfect to me. Now that we have a slightly more colorful game, I am noticing that the colors, they're a little undersaturated actually. Oops. Not terrible, just not quite right. This feels ridiculous. I gotta try out the D-pad, hold on. Sadly, the D-pad I find is not quite as good as it should feel. It's usable though, but I don't like the fact that the joystick is down here instead of up here where this analog stick is. I think they should be swapped, especially considering that this console's like 40 bucks. Like, this is the kind of layout that'd be good if you're playing like at least PS2, right? There's no way this console supports PS2. Maybe though. Oh, god dang it. Anyway, Super Nintendo, completely fine. We're gonna try out PS1 here next. I imagine this should also be fine, but maybe not. Oh, they got the Spyro the Dragon too. Oh, heck yeah. All right, I gotta take the joystick off. Hold on, let me go back to our normal analog stick. There we go. Hey, you know, this is playing back perfectly. Looks great, feels great to play. Can I get out of the map? Yes, I can. Whee! Oh yeah, I forgot I was recording a video. I'm having too much fun out here. Yeah, PS1, it's great. This console, I kind of love it, honestly. 40 bucks, this is insane. Now, I see we stop around PSP. There's definitely no PS2 on here. I imagine PSP is likely going to be very bad on this. But we'll circle back to it in a second. I want to go back to N64, since this tends to be a little more intense to run than PS1. And of course, we have to try Super Mario 64. All right, let's go back to the joystick for this one. You know, it's not too far off from like an N64 analog stick, right? Oh no, it's this emulator. Is this using RetroArch? Hold on. It is. So whatever core this is, anytime I see one of these like Linux emulation handhelds use this emulator, it's a bad time. Like, look at this menu. This is not even close to looking right. Peach looking goofy. Can we talk for a second about the weird soccer theme going on with this console? You can see on the back, there's like this open vent with no fan behind it, by the way, with a soccer ball going into a net. On the front, we got like the soccer field. We talked about the soccer ball already. It's just like, why? Anyway, as you can see, N64 emulation, not looking too good and not running too great either. We're dropping a lot of frames. Oh, you know, I said I was gonna do PSP, but hold on. Dreamcast actually is gonna be amazing. Uh-oh. That was a lot of drop frames. Oh man, they have some kind of like half-res rendering going on here because a lot of the text is like unreadable. Like, look at this text down here. You can't read that. That's not a good sign for how this is gonna run. Ooh, I mean, it's better than N64, but not by much. Whee! Hey, it's still pretty fun though. Oh my gosh. If this frame rate was better and the resolution wasn't horrendous, the analog stick is really fun to use on this console. Whee! All right, when even Dreamcast does not perform well, I don't have high expectations for PSP, but let's give it a shot. I don't even know why they bother half the time to put PSP games on here. We'll try Mega Man here.
Nope.
Oh, okay, literally doesn't run the game. Okay, let's try the other Mega Man game. Oh, Insta-Crash. Very good, guys, very good. How about God of War? This is not gonna run well, but does it even launch? It tries to. Okay, you know what? There it goes. We got a little yellow triangle warning I can't read. Console's getting very warm on the back. Oh man, yeah, we're in game now. This is a frame rate of all time. It looks like it's not rendering like half the things on screen. Why do they include PSP if it just doesn't work? What is the point? Anyway, I don't think you care about PSP on this console. For pretty much everything else, I really like this thing. I think I might slightly prefer the normal R36S to this thing, but it's got its merits.
Number 2.
You see this? That's a pretty neat feature. Makes the console easy to carry around while still being super comfy to play. But what if it flipped this way instead of this way? Well, that's what this console here is for. A brand new emulation handheld that for some reason swivels around. Let's open it up and see if it's legit. All right, got the console box here. It's the Anbernic RG Rotate. Now, we did not buy this straight from the Anbernic website. We'll get into that later, but that's why it probably comes with this 128 gigabyte micro SD card. But I promise you've never seen something like this before. Immediately, I see that it's almost the same size as a Game Boy Advance SP, but then instead of opening up like this, it swivels around. Oh my gosh. When I first saw this console announced, the thing I immediately thought of was this phone we covered on our Smoke and Silicon channel. It also had a swivel feature, but it only lasted like 3 swivels before it literally crumbled to pieces in my hands. But as you can see, this seems to be surviving okay. And in case you're curious, here's what it looks like opened up compared to a Game Boy Advance SP. It actually ends up being quite a bit smaller while having a much larger screen. It's the same width, but it's quite a bit taller. It's also, if you guys can tell, it's a square screen, which is really unique. Later in the video, I'm curious to mess around with like, what exactly does this do when it's closed? Can you play a game like this in some way? I don't know, this is all a mystery to me. I purposely did not look up anything about this console because I thought it'd be more fun that way. Ryan, what do you think?
That's really nice.
I am still worried it will snap in half.
Probably.
Oh, I didn't even check out all the accessories. Hold up. This actually comes with a tempered glass screen protector out of the box. That's really nice. And then look at this. It comes with a little lanyard. See, now look at that. This is amazing, guys. All right, now let's go ahead and turn the console on and see what happens. It's weird. It can't detect what direction it's in when the console's booting up. That's pretty funny. Okay, now we get a watch face. I saw this on some of the marketing stuff they have for this console. They really want it to look like a watch for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, you flip open the device, it unlocks automatically. That's kind of cool. And now it looks like the inside of a watch. And as you can see, this is indeed powered by Android, which is nice. This is the kind of console I specifically think will be great to just keep in a backpack or something like that. You're ready to go at any moment, and it's really cool that you could just flip it open, and there you go, you're in your game. Now, it is a little interesting that there's no setup process from what I can tell. Anbernic AI. Explore the infinite possibilities of gaming. Yeah. AI Square. Experience more fun AI features. Yeah, let's try out AI Square. What is that? Whoa. That is not English. Okay, this is an image generation built into your Anbernic phone, I guess. That is really random. There's an application here just called Gamepad. Is this, oh yeah, sure enough. Tests out your gamepad buttons, cool. All right, enough Android stuff. I see down here we have our emulators. Oh my gosh, there are a lot of them. All of them, all that you ever wanted. Now, obviously, if you're doing this properly and getting one of these for yourself, you should go through and probably like re-download everything from the right place so that you know you have the best versions of all the emulators. But typically in these videos, we prefer to get the out-of-the-box experience that Anbernic sets up for you. Now, all right, I was gonna explore some of those emulators, but we have Boing Boing down here. What possibly is that? Oh, this is Chinese. None of this is in English. There are no settings for English, I don't think. Well, my bad. If there are, I can't read them. Why was this thrown on the console? This is so random. Anyway, in terms of the emulators themselves, it looks like you have everything you'd ever need for whatever consoles you want. What is this? Casio player? This extension pack includes 15 additional cassette models for Casio player and music player. Okay, so you can add music and it plays it on like a little cute looking little tape thing. I mean, that's neat. I kind of like that. And honestly, this wouldn't make a bad little MP3 player device. Anyway, let's just open RetroArch. Give me out all this weird stuff. See, I'm not sure if they actually will include any ROMs on the integrated storage of this console. Nothing is showing up by default here in RetroArch. Let me see how much storage is even on this thing. There's all kinds of options here. Hold up. RG launcher? What is that? We'll play with that later. A few other normal things. Where's my settings? All right, in terms of storage on this thing, we have 32 gigs altogether. 11 gigs are already taken up. 1.5 gigs by games. I assume that's all the emulators. I'm sorry, Boing Boing's taking up a whole 10 megabytes? How dare it? Either way, it's not that much storage to work with, so yeah, you definitely want to get a micro SD card for this console. Whoa, I went home and now we have a different thingy. This must have been what that setting did. Yeah, the RG launcher, so it literally just changed our home screen. And as I scroll through all the games, you can see that there are 0 titles for all the consoles. I'm not really sure if it's going to immediately detect all the ROMs on this micro SD card, but let's go ahead and throw it in. All right, the SD card is now in the console. I definitely still do not see any games. Obviously, I can just make all the emulators point to all the ROMs that I need them to, but again, I'm trying to look at this from the experience of someone who doesn't know what they're doing with any of this stuff and just buys one of these bundles straight off of Aliexpress. All right, we're back. The console should now be updated. You can see I immediately got confused which direction to hold this. A little bit of a skill issue, but kind of just the nature of a square handheld. Now, I see there's this thing down here, function settings. Scan ROM on TF card. Oh, there we go. Hey, that was pretty easy. Let's see if this actually works and scans all our games. Oh, okay, that function I think went through and we have a bunch of games now. A little bit awkward because it was just a never-ending loading screen. It was hard to tell what it was actually doing, but let's just hop into NES. We apparently have 9,000 games. That's not possible, but sure. Right off the bat, we got Super Mario Bros. Very good. You can see that open RetroArch. We got a little bit of a Famicom overlay situation going on down there. I don't know why it's so dark. All right, there we go. I shut off the overlay. Actually, most of the side of the screen is not cut off at all. Oh, that's, yeah, it looks great. I changed it so we have integer scaling now, which makes everything like scale a lot cleaner to the screen. And I also let the emulator handle the aspect ratio, but clearly something's a little off. Oh, this one's even worse. Why are you on the bottom of the screen? All right, well, I broke something, but that's fine. Take me back to the menu, I'm scared. Let's play some Contra here. Uh-oh, it saved my settings. This is the one time I wanted RetroArch to reset things. There we go, I just turned off integer scaling and they have like a custom aspect ratio and that actually is filling out the screen pretty nicely. The screen itself, not too bad, not amazing. I don't know if it's max brightness at the moment, let's check. Oh, not even close. Ooh, that is way too bright for the camera. That is overblowing the camera by quite a bit, but it does look really good. Obviously, a modern Android handheld console, I expect to play NES, no problem. I would hope so anyway. Let's move on to Super Nintendo. We have 2,900 more games. All right, that's, again, not Ambernick doing that. That's the seller on AliExpress that we bought from. Although, is it Ambernick that's setting up the overlays on all the consoles? That'd be kind of interesting. Sure enough, this is Super Mario World once again. And yeah, no surprise at all, this is emulating perfectly. Let's move on to something a little more intense. Let's try PlayStation 1. We only have 75 games, which is kind of surprising. You could fit a lot more than that, but I guess they want to do a bunch of different consoles, not just hyper-focusing on one console. Now we have Silent Hill, let's try that. Was that logo, was that the like advertisement for Pyramid Head in Dead by Daylight? Is that what I just saw? Close enough. All right, here we can see a bit better what happens when you try to play 4x3 on this actually square screen. It ends up being very small, but you know, it's still perfectly usable, and I haven't actually had the sound on. Let me see how the speakers are.
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl?
You know, the speakers are not actually that bad. And perhaps no surprise to many of you, PS1 is running great. N64 can be where you start to run into some problems depending on the console you're talking about. They only have 5 games. You'd think they'd store a lot more N64 games because they're so much smaller than PS1, but whatever. We got Mario 64, that's all that matters. I don't know why you would actually play N64 on this console. You don't have an analog stick, so it's unlikely to go very well. Yeah, this is just your D-pad. You have this button up here you could use. Button as in, it's just a part of the touchscreen, so that works. All right, this is looking pretty good so far. Frame rate's mostly fine. But yeah, you don't want to play with a touchscreen, do you? I feel like you just play on your phone at that point. Now, N64 might be where this console caps out, but I'm gonna keep looking around here. There's a PS2 section, although there's no games on it. We got 8 Dreamcast games. Dreamcast is kind of in the same boat as N64. Like, this console doesn't have an analog stick, but the controller for the Dreamcast does. Oh, Ikaruga might not be too bad. That's not a bad choice. Let's try that out. And look at that, we're shooting things. Now, you can see that the screen in this game is very vertical, so it's kind of a shame it doesn't stretch all the way out. You could probably make it do it, but I am certainly not going to go through the effort to do that. In terms of performance, though, this is fantastic. Oh, God. Now, here is the console that I think you are primarily going to be playing on this bad boy. For some reason, they only have the Japanese version of Castlevania Circle of the Moon, but it's fine. Now, here's an interesting little thing about the console. The speaker is on the back. The actual sound quality coming out of it, yeah, it's this right here. It's not bad, but because it's not pointed at you, it doesn't sound all that crisp. And I actually, depending on the way I'm holding the console, I keep accidentally covering it up with my finger, but I'm sure you get used to it. And GBA can introduce a bit of a different problem. The square screen here can be a little awkward for 4x3 games. It's even worse for the GBA. Doesn't mean the game looks bad or anything. It might just look a little smaller than you might expect. But hey, in terms of controls, man, this is perfect for Game Boy Advance. It's got those same clicky buttons that you expect on like a Game Boy Advance SP, and the bigger D-pad is, in my opinion, even more comfortable than that console. What happens if you try to like play a game and you like rotate it? Does it just lock? Yeah, it just locks the phone, console, whatever you want to call it. You open it back up, or gaming again. Oh, we have 120 PSP games. Man, GBA, that looked pretty small on this screen. I think PSP is going to be unplayable. Also, why are there so many PSP games? Why possibly would you want all this PSP on your console? Oh, they just like included all the games like until they ran out of space or something. What is this list? Let's play Break Quest Europe. Here it is, we're in the game. Yeah, PSP is 16:9 resolution like I was talking about, so it's even more squished. It's actually quite hard to read. Here's an interesting one. We got NDS. Depending on the game, I could see this actually not being too bad, but it really depends on the layout. You can mess with like shortcuts to make it so you're only looking at the top screen or the bottom one. In this case, we have them both stacked on top of each other, and it doesn't actually look as bad as you would think. The control overlay being there by default is a little weird, but whatever. In terms of controls, this console is actually perfect for DS because it's the exact same layout. But hey, emulation quality, this is fantastic. And it looks like that's all the games that came on our SD card. Obviously, there's plenty more consoles you could theoretically play on this, but overall, I think we got a pretty good idea of what this thing can handle. No other console has a rotating screen. That is truly one of a kind, and I quite like it.
Number 1.
Each year, the Nintendo DS situation gets worse and worse as prices continue to rise higher than I ever thought would be possible. Even a decent condition 2DS is going for over $100, what? And that is why I bought this, a knockoff 2DS, sort of. Emulation handheld that you can pick up right now for under $60. Let's see if it's too good to be true. Here she is, the Magic X 040. All right, taking the console out of the packaging. First of all, do we have a green console? Oh my goodness. There is so much going on with the design of this thing. This is the most insane console I've ever seen in my life. It's a long boy. It's like a normal console where the screen would be this way, but rotated around the long way.
The long way.
It's also quite a bit smaller than I thought it would be. Here's an original 3DS for comparison. Like, especially opened up, this console is way larger than this Ampone console. Headphone jack, ooh. Side's got your volume. This side has power and then 2 SD card slots. They also include an SD card pre-installed. I'm sure it's loaded with very legit games. We got a Kioxia 64 gig. I heard from you guys in the comments that this is one of the better knockoff SD cards you can get, so that's exciting. Also, I gotta say, I love the color of this. It's, we might have one. It's like the old PS1 green translucent color. I'm so glad we kept this around. This is what I'm talking about. This kind of like emerald green color. It's not quite the same shade, but it's definitely what they were going for here. But all right, let's go ahead and turn the console on, see what happens. Magic X and Ampone. Looks like it's loading up. Now, this is supposed to have Android. What I'm really curious about is how capable the performance of this thing is gonna be. Oh my, there's the screen. Dawn launcher. And there we go. It took us right to Nintendo DS. They knew exactly what we wanted to play on this. Can I just like swipe up to go home? No? Oh, I can swipe down. What version of Android is this? I was gonna swap to gesture navigation so I can like go home, but it's not supported by Home App Dawn. So the Home app is this thing, I assume. This button up here, by the way, I barely even saw it before. It says G and it's got a home logo and a back button on it. I think you hold it to go home, press it to go back, maybe something like that. Oh, we only have NDS and arcade games. You know, fair enough. I think those are the emulators that are going to perform best on this console. And here we can see our emulators we have installed. Looks like a variety of different consoles. So, okay. This is starting to look more like normal Android. They have Balatro installed. Are you, excuse me? My boy. Now, one emulator I don't see on here is anything for 3DS. That's probably a bad sign that they did not include that. Probably means that this console's not powerful enough to play those games, but we'll see if we can get an emulator on here later in the video. I think for now, I'm just going to load up RetroArch and just see if there are like other games on here besides Nintendo DS and arcade games. It's not looking like it. I'm taking a look at RetroArch's file browser here. Let's see, like I opened Famicom. There are no games. All right, let's start playing some actual DS games here, because that's what this is made for, clearly. Oh my, they might have every DS game. This is so many titles. Where's Super Mario? Where's Mario? I don't have Castlevania. Rude. Wait, maybe they do? Maybe they do? Hold up. Spoke too soon, there it is! I've never actually tried DS emulation on an Android console. That is so weird. They have this like bar in the middle. But yeah, I mean, it looks and feels like how you'd expect. Touchscreen works for the bottom screen, that's awesome. And it's nice I didn't have to set anything up. It just started working how a DS game, would, how you'd expect. I also think the button layout here is perfect for playing DS. How about the analog stick? Does that work? Yes, it does. Either way, though, let's go ahead and hop over to the arcade games. How many titles do we have here? Oh, a great many. Looks like 480. Now, there's one in particular that I really want to try on this, and that is Pac-Man. Pac-Bang, Pac-Mania, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Plus. Pac-Man Plus it is. I don't see normal Pac-Man. We got the vertical screen. It's perfect for certain arcade titles. This little thing down here is a little annoying, but yeah, it's working. Yeah. You even have the analog stick. This is amazing. Oh, geez. Oh, God. Never mind. It does not feel good. Oh, I'm getting accidental inputs. I forgot. Because of nerdy arcade stuff, the stick on Pac-Man is not supposed to be, like, able to go in diagonals, so it feels really bad if you have that situation. It's a whole thing. No! Regardless, you can see this is a great way to play Pac-Man. It fills up a lot of the vertical screen here. You didn't know the original arcade cabinets for Pac-Man. They were very vertical. And as you can see just from some of the titles I'm looking at here, there are many arcade games that are designed for a vertical orientation. What did that say? I just pulled up a game I'm vaguely familiar with. As you can see, this is another one that's clearly designed for a vertical screen. Stop use of this game in Japan. Why? Let me know in the comments what this means.
3 days later.
Okay guys, we are back. I have so many more games on here now. I also discovered some weird things about this console. Let me show you something. So we went over this already. It's on Android, right? As you can tell by this power menu. And in this case, we have 2 SD cards. I have this second one here that I have some games loaded onto. And then it obviously shipped with this one here. But what I discovered is that this SD card has the entire operating system of Android on it. That's right, this thing has no integrated storage inside the console itself. And if you try to like boot it up by holding the power button, nothing happens. No blue light, no nothing on the screen. Maybe that's normal for some of these Android emulation handhelds, but on a phone anyway, I have never heard of that happening before. It also only seems to want to boot if it has one SD card inserted at a time, so yep, there we go. Now that it's booting up, I think I can just slot the second one in there. Yeah, guys, everything about this console is strange. I don't understand it. I'm also not really familiar with this launcher they have, so I didn't get any of the games to show up here in the main menu. But if I go to apps and launch the emulators directly, in this case we have Drastic for DS, I can choose specific ROMs to run. In this case, I already have Super Mario 64 loaded up. Oh, it even resumes state. Nice. I don't know why the screens are inverted like this, but whatever. As you can see, it's Mario 64 for the DS. It's working great. And look, even the analog stick works. It's still just like a D-pad input, but whatever. I think there's like a mod to get actual analog stick stuff to work. I didn't want to figure that out. Taking a look at some of the other emulators we have here. I haven't launched up RetroArch yet, but let's go ahead and give that a shot. Okay, cool. That's working. Now I have Super Mario Bros. For the NES here. I'm just going to load this up. Okay, I got to pick a core. Well, we'll just do this one. Is this gonna work? Yes, although it says MAME down there. I don't know where that's coming from. How are we not powerful enough right now to play NES? What did I do? We don't have any shaders turned on. We don't have run ahead turned on. Those are usually the things that kill performance. Let's try a different NES core. That's really strange. That wasn't working. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. I guess I accidentally picked the worst core ever. But yeah, this is pretty good. It feels fantastic. I will say for playing normal games like that aren't a DS where it has 2 screens that have to be stacked on top of each other vertically, this is a little bit of a small display. Like here's the screen for the Game Boy Advance SP, right? I wouldn't call this a large display or anything, but it makes this screen look tiny. And here's a normal OG DS we can compare the screen size to. Don't ask what happened to this DS. Watch yesterday's video if you missed it. Again, I wouldn't call the DS's screens large, but come on now, they look massive compared to this thing's screen. Now there is one thing that this thing has that a normal DS would not be able to do, obviously, and that is N64 emulation. I did not expect this to run well, but as you can see, I loaded up Mario 64 and it is running really well. A little bit of hitching here and there. It's not like a perfectly locked 30 FPS, but honestly, this is way better than I would have expected for just $60. Now, I do have a few more things I want to check out. We didn't launch Balatro yet. What possibly is this going to be? Just a full pirated version of Balatro? Yeah, it appears so. Now, to help me understand Balatro, because I don't play this nerd game.
Did you say Balatro?
I brought in our resident Balatro expert, Drayton. System UI isn't responding. I think if I hit this button up here, it'll like rotate the screen. Okay, that there you go. You can play like this. All right, have fun. Balatro's on Android and iPhone, right?
Oh, it's yeah.
So it's got to be that version. Even flipped around like this, the screen is just too small.
It's a little on the small side. It's a small boy.
Hey, $60, you get a free copy of Balatro. I mean, I don't know how they're getting away with this, but this is a steal.
All the people who actually know what they're doing in Balatro are really, really just yelling at their screens right now.
You haven't done anything.
Yeah, I know.
Hit them with the full house. Oh.
Bada bing.
I was joking. You won. It has the Drayton seal of approval.
Yo ho, yo ho, yo ho.
What? Is that where they got this? Oh my gosh. Get me out of there. There are a few other things on this. What is Dolphin MM Jr.? Is this like Android version of Dolphin? Oh, and we already have some GameCube games on our SD card from like an older video. Yeah, let's try Resident Evil 4. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Very playable. I'm sure if I look at the settings, I can configure the actual buttons to work in the app. Is this even gonna... It's loading? I'm actually fairly impressed. For $60, I would not expect this to do anything. It's a little hard to read. Does that say 17 FPS in the corner? Oh, we are in the game. It is technically running. It's unplayable, but look guys, $60 console. This is actually better than I would have expected. Either way though guys, I have another app to show you. This is Azahar. This is a 3DS emulator. Now you would assume a console that looks like a 2DS, it should have a 3DS emulator on it, right? Well, I think there's a reason they didn't include this on the console. Oh yeah, as you can see, we have both screens, which is quite nice. But tragically, we're getting a lot of hitching. The game is barely running. I mean, it's like half speed, guys. And Shovel Knight, I would say, is a really easy 3DS title to emulate. Maybe it's not, but come on now, look at it. Now, to really stress test this console, I also have Ocarina of Time 3D. Now, you might think, based on that Shovel Knight performance, that this would not run at all. But hey, as you can see here, not only are we in the game, it's running at a whole, like, 20% speed, with major hitches. So yeah, maybe $60, unfortunately, is not quite enough to get you a good 3DS experience. Hey, you know what, though? Depending on your tolerance for slowdown, this is almost playable. Ooh, emphasis on almost. What is reverse story? Oh, this is nice. Move by flick. Oh, that's fun. Hey, this is the perfect kind of game to play on here. Whoa. Okay, this game's pretty fun. I might download this later on my phone. But anyway, as a console, it is one of all time. For someone out there who only likes vertical shoot 'em up games, this is the perfect machine. For everyone else, maybe just buy like a used DS Lite for like 40 bucks. I don't know.
Oh, thank goodness we made it to the end. I can now unsink myself from the bottom of the depths of the earth. I hope you enjoyed those handhelds, because I know I didn't. If you did, though, watch this video here. You might enjoy that as well. I'll see you later.